Yeah. Looks good. Sounds good.
Hopefully you guys don't hear it echo too much. I'm working on getting this audio plug to work for the iPad.
Menon.
So it's like echoing a little bit.
And Fred Slow.
That's weird.
And in the on-deck circle, Amory Castillo.
Because I can't mute Safari. Okay.
With Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Take that case off if you need to.
Mike's hot.
It's Monday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? Well, it's actually a first. You probably don't know what that means. Yeah. The boys we're at Club One8. Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
Welcome back to the program, Max Machado. Max at Dirty Golf Shop. Max, how are you, brother?
Hello. Happy to be here.
You know, the U.S. Open's right around the corner, so we had to bring in our golf expert. And by golf expert, I mean Max.
Yep. The golf guru / what?
Mostly Rue. Mostly just the Rue.
I mean, fashion icon, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's the one.
Graphic designer, owner, operator of the coolest golf shop in town.
And the second,
he sells himself so short.
And the second best golfer in the room joining us, Club One8 himself, Jay Choi. Jay, welcome to the program, brother.
Thank you.
We're going to talk a lot about the game of golf today. We're going to talk with the Albuquerque Isotopes at 4:15. They got a big week coming up. You know, this Saturday, myself, Natasha Libra, and JJ Buck, we're all headed over to Isotopes. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's this, they do this adaptive clinic for kids. I've done it every year. They've done it.
Yeah.
It's the neatest thing in the world. So it's kids with physical ailments, right?
Yeah,
so it's
differing abilities.
Yeah, and because they're differently abled, they have to adaptively play the sport that comes so naturally to Van, at least. I don't know about the rest of us, but the idea is we go out to Roadrunner Little League. And we, instead of baseball bats, we swing pool noodles. And instead of throwing baseballs, we throw bean bags. And Chick-fil-A is a proud partner of that and Major League Baseball initiative to kind of, get out in the community and do those things. So we will all be out there. So we'll talk to Forrest about that at length. Also, obviously, fireworks this weekend. Friday is Juneteenth celebration. So we'll go into that with Dave. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But we're at Club One8 right now, where I just laced one down the center green on the simulator, Jay. This is this is the coolest thing I've ever seen because I'm a terrible golfer and I don't look that bad here.
So friends of the show who are watching on Facebook Live or YouTube Live or however else you may be watching, you'll see the screen over Fred's shoulder, and you're not going to see a fairway behind him because he sliced one into the rough.
You just see it went right off the bat.
Jay, that one, it looks like a peck, though, right? Because I tattooed it. That's what happened. I went over there, wrote my name all over it with the golf club. Also, the ceiling here has a hole in it where Van Nunley put one through the roof.
Yep, that is the first one. He was the first person to hit the ceiling.
I'm the first person to do a lot of things. Most of them are fantastic. Some of them not so much.
You are going to sign there before you leave.
I did indeed bring a paint marker to autograph Jay's ceiling.
Jay Choi, if you're not familiar, obviously from South Korea, played golf at UNM, played professionally all over the world, right? Which is kind of crazy.
Went around a little.
Okay, that's okay. So as you've got on and done it, you've got stories to tell, right? You've played kind of all the courses that people know historically.
Well, not much in U.S. because I based out of Japan for the last 15 years until I retired. But within U.S., played few.
Yeah,
played Sahali, never played Pinehurst though.
That's the one, right? Is that like the Holy Grail one?
That is that. I mean, they're having the big event this week.
You can't just walk in and show them your top 200 card they used to hold and say,
nope, nothing flies. Augusta is actually the one that nothing flies.
Yeah.
Augusta, nobody gets there.
Do they still do that raffle system for fans and stuff?
I don't know. I'm sure they do something. I mean,
in the world of media, you can't just pass into it. Like we can kind of pass. Van and I have gone to the Waste Management Open. We've done some stuff. Augusta is the one where they just kind of keep the gates closed on you. Yeah. Like you have had to been going as a legacy reporter or you're not going.
You're not welcome.
I think even after you're a media member and get accepted, there's another lottery you can get in to play the course after the day after the tournament.
Oh, like if it gets beat up for a whole week?
Yeah.
I'm super into that. I don't hate that at all. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun golf talk today. We're going to enjoy the crud out of that. And then lastly, welcome back to the show, Isaiah Johnson. Isaiah, how are you, brother?
I'm doing marvelous. I missed you guys.
That's not.
Aww.
That's just a lie.
You had to force me out of the Facebook chat.
Dude,
that is accurate, actually.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the one day last week we were on Facebook Live, and Isaiah's commenting on vacation. Like, Zay, get the hell off of our show and go enjoy your vacation.
Like from Disney World?
Go enjoy your Zaycation out there.
All right, so
vacation. I like that.
What's it like going to Disney World as an adult? Like, that has to suck.
So there wasn't the most adult friendly rides, you could say, to say the least.
Well, you didn't spin around in a teacup?
No, that was not that was not my intention when I went in there. And I mean, it was for the kids. So not my kids, of course, but for my siblings. So it was still a fun time.
Not so bad.
Yeah, for the friends of the show who don't know, Isaiah is a big dude.
That's a big boy.
Like a college football defensive lineman.
That's a big boy.
He's a sturdy human being. There's like nothing you could do at Disney World.
Well, yeah.
So, and I remember like growing up, there was, I had some friends that would go and they would say that there was adult rides, but it may have been Disneyland in California.
Disney World, yeah.
Yeah, is Disneyland, is that the one that has the better roller coasters, or was I lied to?
All right, so I think that one's biased, I think, to each coast. Because I think like a certain coast will tell you certain one's better, and I think the other coast will tell you the other one's better. I will tell you this, Universal Studios is better than both of them. Like,
I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
True.
It's so good, I purposefully got kicked out of it on my 40th birthday. That's how good it is.
Friends of the show who are not aware, Van and I went to a Super Bowl in LA a couple years ago, and they were doing the media party for the NFL at Universal Studio, and Van was turning 40 that night, and gosh forbid any attention not fall upon Van, you can take over from here.
So what happened was, for friends of the show who don't know, present company included,
Yes.
new friends of the show, Jay and Max,
All right.
I want to do something memorable on my 40th birthday. I didn't think I'd even make it that far. So they shut down Universal Studios for just the media. And so, like, there were no lines. I just walked to the front of Jurassic Park. Just walk to the front,
Yeah.
whatever. Free food and drink.
You want to go back to back on Transformers?
no.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll do Transformers 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I'm
Doesn't
holding a Bud Light on the ride.
They're like super expensive extra pass they have to buy.
Well,
Like,
they
is that normal?
closed the whole
They
park.
closed the
down.
whole park.
wow.
It
So
was
there was
just us.
Yeah, there was maybe 200 of us in this whole thing.
And it was just us, and we took advantage of the free food and drink, mostly the drink.
Van got one plate of everything that was prepared, took one bite off of all of it, and left the rest of the plate.
So, do you
That's
mean
half
like
true.
juice, or like alcoholic?
Like
drinks for
alcohol,
free?
baby.
Yeah,
adult,
wow.
adult
They
drinks. All,
They got whatever they deserved.
yeah. All you can eat, baby. So what happened is I had a few in me, and then once I was about to turn 40 in Central Time, I was like, hey, party's almost over. Let's make it worth it. So the last place we stopped was the water park,
The kiddie water park.
which for whatever reason was still running at almost midnight. I walk up to the security guard. I was like, let me assure myself that there's no children anywhere within sight. And she's like, no, sir, this is an adult only party. I was like, all right, let's go. The idea had been born in my brain. I went back to Fred and Robert and Jared and the rest of the crew who was hanging out with us at Universal Studios. I said, hey, this is what's about to happen. You guys are going to sing happy birthday. I'm going to chug this beer, and I'm getting Bucky Neckets, and I'm running through this water park.
It was the weirdest thing of all time.
So chug the beer, had a nice, beautiful happy birthday sung to me, disrobed, down to my chones. I didn't go all the way.
Okay.
And ran through the water park, and then got kindly escorted out.
Kindly.
And I was asked to never come back again.
And Robert's with us.
Wow.
And Robert is a stout man, and he's blacker than Isaiah. So they walk up to Robert like he's like the handler of the group, and
Right.
they're like, sir, your friend,
Yeah.
sir, it's time for your friend.
The cute little sweet security guard who, like, I asked if, like, to make sure there's no kids there. She walked up to me. She's like, sir, you gotta go. And I was like, oh, I know. So I get the clothes back on, and the sweet little young teenage security guards, who's probably a weekend job for these high
it's
school
not
kids
all
or
of this,
whatever. They start walking us out, and like we complied, like we weren't being weird. Like I was weird enough for all of us, so we just started walking out. but the real security
they
was like 20 yards behind us, like armed. Like if this guy does anything else, we're getting real with
boys. They're giving us these like exiting like thank you packages or whatever, right? And it's I don't know what it's like Mickey Mouse ears, like a Harry Potter wand or something.
Yeah.
So they hand all of us a bag except for Van, and Van's like my bag, and they're like no wand for you. So he leaves. Gotta leave it behind. So then we're on this shuttle bus. It's like all media.
Now, hold on, don't skip over the next part. I'm dripping wet.
And so, but it's Super Bowl time, right?
Yes.
Super Bowl,
February.
Yes.
Southern California, February isn't that warm at night.
It wasn't cold.
It wasn't cold. It wasn't warm either.
It's not like here.
So we get outside and we're taking pictures. I'm soaking wet. We're taking pictures together in front of the giant Universal globe, and security comes up and is like, you have to leave. I was like, yeah, we're already gone. He's like, no. Leave. Get out of the parking lot. Get off the property forever. So we walk to the adjacent parking lot and get on the bus.
Yeah, so we're on the bus, and everyone's heard about this by the time it's happening. And Van's thinking there's going to be like an eruptious applause for him and like a hero's like welcoming. No, it's like they everyone looks at him like he has a death wish.
Yeah,
like he is at the end of his time.
We can't associate this guy. We want to come back next year.
And he's dripping wet, except in dry Jordan 3s. Yeah. He's dripping wet as he's walking down the bus, and no one wants to affiliate with him. And there's like, I take a seat next to a stranger, so I don't have to sit next to him. And then he has to end up like cheeks up against a guy from Wichita or whatever. And you're like, this sucks for you, brother. This was So Van's not allowed back in Universal Studio.
Do they have your ID in their file or something?
I haven't gone back and tried.
Oh, I imagine they have the NFL submitted one with your photo.
There's got to be a database with my face on it.
They have your social, brother.
Watch Van walks up there like it's Vegas security camera.
The whole thing.
AI goes, oh, Van's here. Get out.
We step away so we can come back with Forrest Stolting of your Albuquerque Ice Tubs. Talk about the big week going on in the world of baseball. Lots of U.S. Open talk. The NBA Finals are a snoozer. We'll talk about that as well. I know punchline here, boys. Watched an entire UFL championship game yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of a crazy experience.
Oh, you mean USL championship?
What did I say?
United.
I also watched the United over the weekend. Big win over Hartford. So they were very good. We'll talk about that too. There's just a ton in the world of sports over the weekend. Also, Van and I are going to game the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. We're going to tell you our plan. It is, I think, the best plan we've ever had to sabotage.
Let's go.
It's 2 Men On, live from Club One8 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Rap to smack you. I don't got an attitude. Grab you.
Back at Club 1-8, our new friend Jay Choi joins us. Jay, welcome back, brother. All right, so you ever won a golf tournament?
I have.
Isn't that crazy? Like going up against like the best dudes at the sport that you chose, pretty sweet. Like Isaiah's going to let us know when Forrest Stolting is with us. We're going to talk a little bit about the ice.
Got some confirmation. I got good news and I got bad news.
All right, give it to me.
The good news is Forrest Stolting is walking down the hall about to join us.
Okay.
The bad news is Forrest Stolting is walking down the hall about to join us.
This is tough. This is a tough one for us. How old were you when you turned pro?
23, 22, right after college.
Okay, so you'd been out of college, what, like a week, and you were like, I'm a professional golfer?
No, actually, I wanted to turn pro before I went to college, so I knew the day I'm turning pro. It's
Yeah.
the last day of tournament of college golf. The next day I'm turning pro.
Didn't even walk. You were like, forget graduation. I'm a pro golfer.
I did graduate. I went back to school.
Well, I'm saying you
finished golf.
graduated. I mean, did you walk, though? Did you get the whole experience?
Yeah. I did all
That's
the
pretty
whole
sweet.
experience
That
for
is
UNM at UNM.
So then, all right. So then you immediately, you're going to try to pro golf in America? You're going to try to pro golf in Asia?
I
what was
did
the
try
plan?
to go to US Q school, PGA Tour Q school.
What is that? We don't know what that is.
It's a qualifying tournament. It's a series of tournaments. It's like, I think there used to be only 3, first, second, and third stage. So there's multiple locations of stage 1, and only top 15 players advance to the next stage. And then there's a less amount of stages available second, and you move on to third.
So 23-year-old you went to round 1. How'd that go?
1.
Yeah.
I won.
That's very good. Yeah.
WON,
Yes.
not ONE. Yeah,
Well,
one.
the first stage I won. The second stage, that's where I missed by 1
stroke.
stroke.
And
through
that's the
final
difference
stage.
between
Going to the minimum of a secondary tour. Now it's called Corn Ferry.
Yeah.
Now introducing Forrest Stolting.
We'll circle back to Jay Choi because we have contractual obligations with the late to the program, Forrest Stolting. Forrest, welcome to the program. How are you? Just take your time on Forrest's mic.
Forrest.
So Forrest's mic is super low, and I'm going to assume that's something to do with the studio. Isaiah, why don't you bring him into your microphone? That way we're all
Okay, we'll do it that way.
You're the best. So as you're talking about going from round 1 to round 2, Jay, you get to round 2. Are there any names out there with you? Did you know any of the guys at the time? Are these guys you've been playing against collegially forever?
Bunch of names.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing still around, but like Brian Harmon. All the names are in there.
Okay.
That's all Americans listed on there. A bunch of still playing. The guys are playing on PGA.
So it's all the best All-Americans to do it are all in the exact same place trying to beat each other.
Yep.
That's like Hunger Games, brother.
It's just difficult. And when you get to the third stage, the fallout guys from the PGA Tour, fallout guys from the Corn Ferry Tour guys will meet up at the third stage with people advanced from the second stage. And then top 30 players gets the PGA Tour status, and the rest gets the Corn Ferry. It used to be.
Yeah.
Now, I think they went back. Now it's Corn. You go to the Corn Ferry only, and then you finish this whole season to get into PGA Tour.
Yeah, that's all. They've incorporated the point system from the PGA Tour. I think it's kind of trickled down now to Corn Ferry, and so mobility. They're trying to make it more like easier for people from the lower tours to kind of like have a path to upgrade.
Easier? This is the hardest sport in the whole world.
Trying to make the path at least like.
these guys.
I gotta say, baseball is the hardest sport in the world, though.
Forrest Stolting.
Stolting's back. Welcome.
Hardest sport in the world to figure out a microphone. Forrest Stolting.
Hey,
Forrest, give us the rundown on the week that is at Isotopes Park, brother.
yeah, man. So we're facing the El Paso Chihuahuas this week. 6-game series, Tuesday to Sunday.
We hate those dudes.
6:35 first pitch Tuesday to Saturday. 6:05 first pitch on Sunday. We got a huge weekend coming up. We got our Juneteenth celebration on Friday, as well as our clear cross body bag giveaway to the first 2,500 fans, courtesy of AARP. Super slick design. You better get there early to snag it. On Saturday, we have our third Mariachis game of the season. It's Amigos night, so bring all your friends down with you. You better bring 5 or 6. Then stick around for some post-game fireworks after the game. And then to wrap it all up on Sunday, our Father's Day pregame catch on the field. Come down and make some memories with your dad. How often do you get to play catch with your dad on a professional baseball field, right? Like you get to do it, in the backyard's great, but doing it on this nice, finely cut grass on a professional field, can't beat it. And then all with a nightcap of some post-game fireworks as well. So we got a lot going on this week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Forrest Olting joining us on the program, talking about the week that is at Isotopes Park. You left out the Adaptive Clinic this Saturday.
Oh, excuse me, you're right.
The Adaptive Clinic over at Roadrunner Little League, where multiple Isotopes players, volunteers from the community, and a ton of individuals who are differently able will join professional baseball players under the guise of Major League Baseball at Roadrunner Little League, including myself, one JJ Buck from the morning show, Natasha Liba from the news desk will be out there as well to assist in a world of fun and enjoyment. For us, this is the third annual, and how big and bad, and by bad I mean positive, is this one going to be for the community?
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I mean, it's just a real joy to see the players help these kids in any way they can, because just seeing the smiles on their faces just really brightens their day. It's just a priceless thing for these players to do to help brighten these kids' day, and just expose them to the game of baseball from a professional's view, and just kind of let them just the smile is the biggest thing. That's what I keep going back to for sure.
I get paid in really excited fives when I am out there.
Exactly, man. You can't beat it. It's such a wonderful event to be a part of, and we're really excited for the third one this coming Saturday.
Forrest, do you think it might be a little ageist that you're giving out body bags courtesy of AARP on Friday?
Good question.
I mean, I'll say this. No matter the age, you can rock a clear cross body bag. I mean, it's 2024. Whenever I go downtown, you see them everywhere. So it's not just for the old folks. Even though it's AARP on there, everyone's rocking a clear cross body bag. So,
Forrest, you always go hard on Father's Day. You make it a special day for the dads out there. What should all the dads and their kiddos expect on Sunday?
I mean, you expect a fun half hour to 45 minutes on the field, enjoying the nice toss on the finely cut grass. We're gonna have some fireworks that night. So just the biggest thing is just come down and make a super unique memory with your dad. Obviously, you can play catch almost anywhere, but you can't always play it on a professional field. So when you have that opportunity, you got to come snag it.
You guys know how my dad would never play catch with me, so here's my plan.
Yeah, we hear it all the time.
So I'm gonna go down there, and I'm just gonna steal fly balls. You're
just gonna run around.
Yeah, and then Isotope security is gonna be like
security,
and then
he's banned.
Not Fred Slow.
Yeah. Wah, wah. Everyone just sounds like Charlie Brown's parents. Anything we missed for us before we let you go?
Home Run Derby X tickets are on sale right now. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. If you want to come see Manny Ramirez hit a lot of home runs, there's going to be about 200 hit the evening of Friday, August 23rd. Tickets are on sale now. Home Run Zone's a place to be. Better bring a glove. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Nonstop action.
Boy, I'm surprised there's tickets left.
Hey, I mean, we're trying to pack the park,
Friends of the show, hurry up and get your tickets.
Yeah, they're going to be gone quick.
We'll be there.
Be a sardine cannon there by the end of it.
You ain't kidding.
Forrest Olting, thank you so much.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it.
Whenever we get back from the Blake, which is a terrible restaurant here in town. Whenever we get back from...
Right on.
So, some strongly worded emails coming your way, boss. Get ready.
I say no green chili. Don't put green chili on it. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying no green chili. I hate you and your culture. I'm trying to say don't put green chili on it. I don't want to sit in the restroom all day.
Why restroom?
Because it's Jay. Damn it. When we get back from the break,
explain it to you.
Jay Choi keeps walking us through the path it took for he to become a professional golfer. We talk a little bit about the U.S. Open. Again, the NBA Finals are a snoozer. We'll tell you not just our opinion on that, by why no one else can give you an opinion because no one is watching it. It is going unseen. The UFL Championship I watched over the weekend. United had a big win against Hartford and so much very more. It's Tuning On live from Club 1-8 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Jay Choi joining us. He's talking about his journey into the world of professional golf. Max Machado, Dirty's Golf Shop with us. He brought Jay a T-shirt, not me or Van. We'll talk about that later.
Hurts.
Trade it.
What's the deal, dude? You don't think we wear shirts? Like,
I got such a short memory, short-term memory that if you text me, hey, bring me a shirt,
no,
I will bring you a shirt.
I did not do that.
If you don't, I will forget. Something else will come up.
It was inferred. Like I just thought.
You know what? We'll make it happen next time. No doubt. No doubt.
Jay gets done playing college golf. What year is this?
2006.
Okay, so you get done in 06 playing college golf, and then one day later you're going to play professional golf. You get through round one of the
QAnon.
Q
school.
Oh, Q school. The QAnon. So you get through round Q of that, and then you're on to the second round. And you were talking about some of the names at that time that were coming up playing golf. Like these are the best young hackers in the world at it.
Well, I don't know if we played exactly same Q school.
Okay.
Because we're a group of guys around, a couple years older than me to a couple years younger than me. The people, who are younger than me didn't come to Q school until later. So, like Adam Scott was just not too far above, older than me. A bunch of guys. I played with Spencer Levine. He did really well on tour. After that, Charlie Belgian was my teammate. He won I believe he won Disney's tournament.
Okay.
So after you're a stroke off,
it's a small world.
Oh, nice.
Disney, yeah. Okay.
So after you're a round off or a stroke off in round two, how does that work then? Is the door immediately closed on you? Did you?
It's like, see ya.
That's it.
I'll see you next year for Q school.
And
until then, you're just struggling to do whatever. You're just trying to find a place to play.
Yeah, just trying to be a pro at a muni course somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, you find tournaments. There's local tournaments everywhere. Like there's mini tour tournaments in Arizona. They're a little pricier. They're generally a little bit pricier per event, but pro golfers are basically gamblers.
Sure,
that's what it is.
But you're gambling on yourself.
Yeah, you're gambling on yourself with your skill. And like mini tour stuff, your entry fee is like $1,500 to play.
What?
Yeah,
you need a sponsor.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So what you do is you start gathering sponsors to play your mini tour for a year until you get to next time Q school comes around.
Okay.
Because you got to stay sharp. So you got to start playing tournaments. It costs you money. So I did that for a year, built a little credit card debt and and some sponsors' money, got some fundraising going. So I did it. And then I started going back to Q school, my next try. Same thing. Now I'm exempt on one because I won it.
Okay.
So, and then I go
straight to two.
Yeah. Okay. So then I missed by one again.
Oof.
Again, one.
Yeah.
One. One, right?
Can you remember that one shot? Was it like
it's out of 270 shots or something. Who knows what happened? I don't know. It might not even been one. It felt like one because it was just so close, right? Who knows? This is like almost 20 years ago. But it felt like one. So I got so mad. I left my car there. I said, I can't drive. So my parents picked me up. No, because
you're distraught, right?
Yeah, I did. Everything was so smooth for me from junior golf. I was
never struggled
with golf game. Like it was so easy to me. It took me a long time to get decent, but then from there I figured it out, and it was so easy, right? So, anyways, I missed by one to go back. I said, I'm done. I'm quitting golf. So all my life, all I dreamed about was playing professional golf, and then 2 tries, and I shut myself down. I said, I'm done. So I don't even play golf. I don't even go pick up my car. It's a Q school site in California.
Still today?
No. I went and picked it up. I went and picked it up after about a week, but it was in the golf course parking lot. My little Chevy Tahoe Z71 or something, whatever they call it.
Sure.
It was a cool car with the exhaust change. It was loud.
Sounds like your priorities were right at the time.
Yeah, very, very, very straight up. Yeah. So anyway, when I got it back, so I quit golf. I'm doing nothing now. Like this is 2007. Not doing anything.
Now, bear in mind, you're doing well. You got a college degree. You played some golf. You've won some tournaments.
Yeah,
in your eyes, it couldn't get any lower.
Well, I'm taking a little break.
Sure.
I'm taking a little break.
So that's when you're like, well, it's time to go back to Asia. Or that's when you're like,
no. This is when my friend goes, hey, you want to go try Q's? What is it? U.S. Open qualifier.
Smart.
2008. And I was like, yeah, I haven't played golf in like 6-7 months, man. I don't. Why am I going to do it? He goes, so let's just go, split the cost, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it was qualifying is in New Mexico, so you can fly out. I was in California at the time. Graduated college and went back to California. I was like, sure.
Graduated UNM, just
UNM,
right. Yeah.
And then I came back to play tournament with a buddy, right? Guess what?
You won the whole thing.
I got through the first stage. So now I'm going to section the next stage in Colorado. I haven't played, whatever. No play in between either. And I'm like, I got to go. So I just called my buddy up, who's not even a golfer in town. Say, hey, let's go together. Just loot my bag. Just ride in the car with me. Get through. So I'm in U.S. Open now.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Two qualifiers, one weekend here in New Mexico, one weekend in Colorado, and bam, you're in the U.S. Open.
Yep. And
It's a lot harder than that.
Yeah,
for most people.
To be fair.
Well, and Max, so you were in New Mexico State at this time, right?
He's very lucky. He was gone by the time I showed up. A lot of these records and things, you know, maybe
obtainable if
if the seventh best guy at New Mexico State in 2007, you know.
That's it. But did you know like the story of Jay? Like, was he like within the state?
Yeah,
now?
dude. The Jay was that golf team specifically, that UNM team that he was a part of was like. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were number 1 in the nation ranked.
So pretty good.
We were good.
Well,
I think our winning rate was like. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a fact, but I think it was above 50%. We were winning tournaments.
That's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
we were winning like crazy. It was crazy. It was fun.
We
didn't win the nationals, so we didn't end up being number 1. But
did you have to go and slum down in New Mexico State and play that course?
We never played against
each other. Too good to go south. We played in the Tucker. We would come and play that tournament.
UNM tournament. They did come to play.
They'd throw us a bone and let us make the trip up.
So we were just talking about you getting the bid to the Open, right? So you're going to play in the U.S. Open. What year is this?
2008.
All right, where's it at?
Torrey Pines.
All right, pretty good. Pretty good little course.
That's the one Tiger. That's the last Tiger. I think the last U.S. Open he won, I believe.
That's the one he won on a broken leg against Rocco Mediate in the playoffs.
And Jay Choi.
Yeah, he actually had to beat Tiger Woods. Had to beat Jay Choi.
Or he wouldn't have won.
He wouldn't have won.
Yeah, that's 100% factual.
So here I come, no practice. So how can I be good, right? But then once I walk into the tournament, I'm like, oh shoot, this is what I was wanting to do all my life.
Yeah,
playing this field, you know, like I got to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
So here I come. Getting my friends ready. Hey, I need some money to go play tournament.
Well, I mean, let's back up a little bit and talk just about the U.S. Open, which is this coming weekend.
Oh yeah,
like when you've played in hundreds of tournaments before that one U.S. Open, you're no stranger to what it's like to show up to a tournament, get ready, go in the locker room. You got your caddy, you prepare for it. But what was so different about the U.S. Open when you walked into it?
The U.S. Open.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, for example, when you check in, when you register, they give you a car key for a courtesy car for the week, and
for your golf cart. This makes perfect sense.
No, for you to get
a
car.
I believe official sponsor of U.S. Open is Lexus.
Good get.
So every single player at event, 144 players, get free Lexus for the week, and it's brand new.
Of course.
0 miles. And it's like, you want SUV, LS, whatever you choose, car. So I'm like, okay.
Can you imagine how many Perkins waitresses I could get to go home with me?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that'd be so sweet.
It's fun. They treat you like a king. So I was like, okay, this is what I need to be back at.
Yeah. So, all right, so you're there. Now, talk to me a little bit about, like, the field, though, right? So you're talking about this register. Is it a clubhouse? Is it a locker room?
They built a bunch of tents.
Yeah.
And it's a huge operation. I believe there's like 100,000 galleries come for the week. So
and of how many competitors are in it?
144 usually.
So 142 of them don't know who you are.
143 of them don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
No. I'm sure. I mean, at that year we had 4 Lobos playing.
Oh, how cool!
We had. I mean, our older Lobos, like DJ Brigman was playing in. I think that year. There's 4 or 5 Lobos were playing. Charlie was playing in it. So it was kind of cool event. So we all knew each other. We had. Well, more than one person who knew me.
And then, so of the 240, and you know, you're a Korean dude, right? Like, how many of them look like you? How many of them are
a lot, because U.S. Open is the only tournament that I believe it's only 40 spots or 60 spots are reserved for PGA.
Okay.
The rest is all qualifying.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, you get players from Korea, you get players from England, you get players from Zambia, wherever you're coming from. Doesn't matter. If you qualify, you play. You see a bunch of Asian people. But anyways, long story short, KJ Choi, who is another Korean pro golfer.
Yeah, name checks out.
Sure.
Yeah.
I believe until Matsuyama came along, he was the highest world ranker Asian golfer ever, or something like that. Anyways,
Sure.
Maybe
they don't know Tiger, but okay.
Yeah. So they messed up his registration package with mine. So they gave me his, and they gave him mine.
I mean, that sounds racist.
Well, did he have like a nicer Lexus? Like,
No, I think I said Jay Choi, and they thought I was probably KJ Choi's manager or something.
Choi.
Yeah.
So I mean, they know who KJ Choi is, but when I said Jay Choi, they thought, oh, I was KJ Choi's manager or something. Just give me his package. So I left. And I got a call that night from KJ. He goes, dude, you got my package. I was like, what? So I went into home. I checked it. I was like, oops.
I like how you didn't even open the registration package.
Not even it.
I
don't care. It's like, I'm there.
People thought, why did they put an extra K on my name?
Yeah. This is how much I didn't care, which is very
Korean Jay Choi,
which is very, very stupid. But now it's a big regret. Yet I don't regret, so it's good. I didn't even get a hotel by the golf course. I drove home every night, hour and 20-minute drive home from Torrey Pines to my parents' home.
Huh.
I didn't care. It's like I wasn't prepared to play U.S. Open. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I got there because I'm sorry, I was good.
Yeah,
it's like I didn't practice nothing. I
just messed
got
around
there. I just got there. I wasn't prepared, nothing, right? So I'm not preparing anything special. I'm going to go home.
You're carrying like your Lobo bag from college. Like
no. I got sponsorship from a company called 14. It's a Japanese, like, nice equipment brand. I got sponsored for the week.
Who is coming out so when the news breaks that you're going, are you telling the world? Is the world being told for you? Like, who's coming out of your golf past or your personal past to like send you kind words? Who's in support of you?
Well, Facebook wasn't that, and Instagram wasn't that around at the time.
Yeah.
Facebook was around, but it wasn't like this. It was more like a collegiate friend connecting type situation. But so Korean media kind of took over. I grew up in Southern California.
Sure.
My junior high school year. So they have a huge Korean population in Southern California. They have a newspaper. Korean Times have a LA version. So
okay.
So I mean, the reporters are out and they're giving me special contents in newspapers at the time. I got some media coverage there.
That's super sweet. But there wasn't like a young instructor that helped you. There wasn't a previous coach.
I've had two instructors in my life. Like, one's in Korea, don't even count because they're not really instructors. They're just babysitter. That's what it was.
Okay.
I had two instructors in my life. One I've been with for the last 5 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm still with him now. That's the last instructor I ever had, and I will have. I've been since 14, so 27 years. I've been with this guy.
Oh, wow.
When you were, sorry to run over you on this, man. So when
you're wildly interested. You're really into this.
Well, because I don't know anything about it, right? So you're talking about the young blood of growing up in California or growing up in Korea. How did that work?
I was born in Korea.
Yeah.
And I started golf, and I was like, "Ooh, golf is fun. I want to play more golf." So I was like, "I'm going to U.S. to play golf." I
think I have this idea in my head, though, that like in Korea, maybe this is not correct. Is it like a real regimen, strict process on how you get into it, or is it just going out and having fun as a kid?
Well, golf was different 30 years ago in Korea when I started. It was
okay.
It was kind of prestige sport, expensive sport.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I wasn't welcome when I go play golf because it's like, "What are you doing? You're a little young kid."
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, my grandparents. They were wealthy enough to support me with the hobby that I enjoyed.
How sweet.
And then I didn't really like that whole environment. Like, everybody's old. And when I came here, I was like, I see kids playing junior golf tournaments and weekends in LA's public golf course. I was like, "Oh, I love this. I'm coming here." So I just moved out here.
Let's keep telling this story whenever we get back from the break, boys. We're live from Club 1-8. We're having a lot of fun. Jay Choi's with us, Max Machado as well. And as he's hearing about this U.S. Open, are you just wiping drool from your mouth the whole time, or was that what's happening? Okay.
Yeah, these are like the good war stories. Yeah.
It's tuning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Club 1-8. Jay Choi joining us on the program. Professional golfer, part-time dude.
Full-time dude.
Max Machado also with us, and he told us on air earlier he's 1/7 the golfer that Jay Choi is. So that's great.
That's fair. But Van played with us yesterday. What do you think, man?
It is wild. You're probably the two best golfers I've played 18 with before, and a bit emasculating. Not gonna lie, a bit emasculating.
What is it like to see Van go out there and just hack it? Like,
He didn't hack. It was fun. It was good.
yeah,
Van's got some game, man. He hit some bomb drives.
Yeah, he hit some bomb drives when he connects.
if you were playing in a scramble, would you use any of his shots?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Okay, there you go, guy. Yeah,
He throws in some moves on a scramble
and
for
he
sure.
make a few good putts too. So
Six pars, 0 birdies. But the problem is, I got 6 pars. I also got 6 doubles and triples. Yeah. I mean, these
Couple
guys will
bush
tell
balls.
you, it's like everyone can go out there and hit a few good shots and look like Tiger Woods for 5 or 6 minutes at a time, but it's doing it for 3 hours straight. It's the consistency, right?
And then 4 days in a row if you're playing
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jay's level.
and then it's season long.
Yeah.
And then it's year by year.
Uh-huh.
It's every year of
Jay-
your life.
Jay Choi with us. He's talking about when he played the U.S. Open, and then you were talking about you were a kid at the time, right? You were,
Oh yeah, 24.
Yeah. And you said you didn't put it on the pedestal it necessarily needed to be on, and didn't get the attention that you've gave the game so many years following that. How does that sit with you?
Nothing.
Just no big deal.
No,
So you-
I mean, I have a feeling I probably lost a number of a winning lottery ticket too. So,
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, what can you do with the chance you lost? I mean, what are you going to do about it? Move on.
So you went out there and you performed. How did you perform at the U.S. Open?
Missed the cut by like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I was not prepared.
Did you-
The golf course conditions were not what I was used to.
So, all right. So, did you get a chance to bump elbows with or watch any like the? So the texter's asking about the big names. Did you get to mess around with?
I did mess around with
Tiger?
Tiger
Okay.
a little at the driving range. So at the time, my instructor was one of the first one to introduce TrackMan into
Okay.
like instruction sheet.
Well,
So,
and for the listener, kind of walk through what that is.
TrackMan is a device that now everyone uses to track their golf head movements or golf ball flights, and then it's a tracking device.
Sure.
For golf equipment. So we brought it out. We're checking it out, and I used to hit the ball pretty far, so I was kind of muscling it out there, just ripping it and checking out the numbers, how far I'm hitting, and it wasn't planned. Mr. Woods was right next to
Mr. Woods.
Mr. Woods.
Mr. Woods.
I mean, Mr. Woods was right there.
Elmore, sir.
And then we're just giving little oomph, little long drive contests here and there. I mean, we gave a little bit of that. That was about it. And then during the practice round, I knew this golf course because I grew up playing Southern California.
Sure.
Torrey Pines. So on 18th, I knew that once they have that pin on front left, that I was like, you know what? I got to practice shots. So I went drop it off around 80 yards and fairways and roughs on the right side, because that's where you're going to lay it up to. If you're going to lay it up,
right?
If you're not going for it too. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to practice these rough shots. And that's the hole. That's the shot that Tiger hit on 72nd hole to force a playoff. Hit it from that shot. And I practiced because I couldn't stop the ball on the green. It was so difficult. The roughs are so long. Greens are so firm. This is on Tuesday, beginning of the week. And I'm looking at Tiger 72nd hole on TV. I'm like, whoa, okay, what's going on here? He hits that spot. I'm like, oh, I know that. He's not going to be able to stop that. Oh, no, you can't force a playoff anymore. Well, guess what? So I'm just camping the top. Mr. Woods just stopped it he just stopped it on the green. And he had like 40-foot putt. It was bumpier than
anything.
Hoffman Church.
You got to think about it. It's the last group of the tournament. Every single person has already walked on that green and stepped on it. It's baked out. They haven't watered it. Choi's playing the practice round where they're still watering 5 days ago. He can't hold the green. And Tiger's doing this.
He just picked the ball up from 80 yards. He just jumped up in the air and just dropped it. It's like, it was weird. And he makes the next putt. Ball's jumping. Like, I bet it hopped 42 times to go.
Skipping rocks across the green.
Goes in playoff with one leg. I mean, this is before the accident, so it was like, this is actually when it was healthy.
Yeah.
But before the knee surgeries, that's one leg. And now I'm one in.
I might have less than one leg.
I mean, hey, he's trying his best. He's still the best. He's still the GOAT.
No, I agree completely.
He could shoot 85 anywhere. I don't care. He's still the GOAT.
I'm sure you were aware of the legend of Tiger Woods young, like both being Cali boys, both being in the golf world. I know he's I don't know, what, 7-8 years older than you, but
a lot more.
Sorry, my bad.
I'm 40. I'm 41. No, not a lot. I think he's about 7 or 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Right. So, almost exactly.
Yeah, the math was good.
Yeah. So, like, you knew about the legend coming into this thing because it started young.
Oh yeah.
What was it like hearing those stories and like I'm a Cali boy, he's a Cali boy? Was like someone you looked up to?
Well, because every trophy that I looked at growing up had his name on it. So it's like, oh, Tiger Woods, oh, Tiger Woods, oh, Tiger Woods. Every trophy you look at in Southern California golf courses, Tiger Woods, Eldrick Wood, maybe Tiger Woods, Eldrick Wood, Tiger Wood. What? I mean, so you just grow up with the name. It's not like it's like. It's not so religious, but it's like Bible. It's like it's just there. It's like it's Tiger Woods.
So then, all right. So you're through the U.S. Open, and then that's when you start like falling in love with golf again, or how?
It just sparked it up again. So I was like, I got some friends back on the phone. I said, hey, I need some funding. I need to go back to Q school, because it's in July.
Right.
Q school's in August, September-ish. A couple months to prepare. So I was like, got the fund ready. Q school again.
So then, all right. So then it was overseas after that, just almost immediately, or what?
Then more funding, more credit card applications, expanding, calling friends at banks to approve me for credit cards. Mm-hmm. Built it up. Let's go. Summer. Here I go. Whew, that bill was big expensive. I built it up. So I was paying a lot in interest alone. And then I said, okay, I'm done after the summer. I was like, I'm done. I can't go on. I'm maxed out of my credit cards. What am I going to do? And I heard that wrapping a equipment company for on PGA Tour, like grip companies or something, to wrap them on a PGA Tour makes decent money.
Okay.
Like, maybe I'll just get the job. So I reached my friend out in California who had a distributorship for this grip, and they were looking for PGA Tour wrap. And I was like, hey, let me get that job. And he's like, why do you need a job? Like, well, credit card debt?
Yeah, well, you don't know.
Right, for sure. It's like, I'm done. He's like, dude, you're too good to quit. And I was like, thanks, but I'm done. He's like, hey, have you tried Japan? That Japan tour? I was like, no. He goes, he's a Japanese guy. He goes, this is a decent tour. Check it out. So he sent me a link, looked at the list, checked it out, and they're top 75 players at the time. That's keeping the card line. 75 players was making $150,000 to $200,000. I was like,
very doable.
Yeah,
doable.
I'm into that.
And he's like, hey, Q School application deadline's month out, but you have to go to first stage, and there's 4 stages. I was like, sure, I'll go. And he's like, hey, I'll find you a sponsor in Japan to back you back if you have to. So he introduced me to a couple of guys in Japan who owned the golf course and all these things that I could practice. And I signed up and went and finished. I won the first stage there, won the second stage there. I think I barely made it in the third stage.
And that's the farthest you'd ever been as far as winning, getting through the second stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to final stage in Japan and I finished third at the final stage. So I got the whole season pass for 2010 in end of 2009. That's when my whole actual pro career started, 2010.
Now you got a place to play.
Yeah.
Now you got status.
I got status. Now I get paid to use that golf ball. Paid to use that golf clubs. Until then it wasn't. So
love everything about it. And then the rest of your career kind of just ran from there. It was
ran from there. I just kept my card and finished 15th or 17th on the money list in Japan first year. Made myself quick. Big AM.
Got the credit card figured out. Yeah,
I got that.
I got that paid off. I paid off a lot of friends' debt that backed me. I have a couple friends in town, and I didn't pay back, but they got enough back in others, not in cash.
Deal. So then that was it. So you're professional golfer to now back in Albuquerque because you never lost your love for it. And
yeah, my wife stayed here all along. I went to Japan to fly back here for winter time off season. Stayed here in Albuquerque. Just never played golf. I just took time off in winter.
Yeah. Keep it right, keep it level.
Yeah, just say family time, 24 hours with the family.
We will talk about the U.S. Open whenever we get back from the break. If you hit the music, I didn't hear it, Isaiah, so we're going to cash it out at the top of the hour. It's 2 Minute On live from Club 1-8 on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. Congratulations on making it to quitting time. It's 5 o'clock, boys.
Mondays aren't easy on everyone, Fred.
What does that mean?
You've heard I got a case of the Mondays. Some guys sitting in an office for 8 hours.
You doing
just waiting all day to drive home and listen to us and get a good giggle, get Monday off of his back, look forward to the meet, keep working for the weekend all week so he can play golf somewhere, not as good as Jay and Max, but probably passably.
Well, Monday was
I'm kind of speaking for myself. Like, I'm talking about me.
I guess I'm looking. Are you doing like a Garfield bit on me? Like
a little bit.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I heard.
More office spacious, I think.
We are live from Club One8. We're having a lot of fun today talking the game of golf. Our friend Jay Choi is with us. He was telling us about his journey into the world of professional golf, and that was neat. That was a ton of fun insight. So thank you for that, brother. Max Machado is with us. He's from Dirty's Golf Shop. Max, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. I had such a good time hearing Jay talk about his experiences. I didn't have that elite of experience. I was in Las Cruces.
I mean, you were still playing D1 golf. That's high level stuff. You're playing with some great competitors.
Yeah, for sure. I was more of the Miguel, the guy he was talking about that was like stuck in 8th place because everybody else is so good. You know, you don't realize
player though. He just didn't have the right timing.
Yeah, timing is everything.
A good team that he just never got the opportunity. He was a great player. I think he's now coaching Socorro High School golf team. Him and his wife, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
Cool. Support him. Socorro High School. I believe it's Socorro. If I'm wrong, don't get mad, Miguel.
I don't know if there's more than one high school in Socorro, so I would assume that's it. And if
that
not,
could be it.
Yeah. Also, if you're driving home to Socorro today, thanks for tuning in on the commute. That's a big deal to us. Dirty's is located off San Mateo. Cool little golf /
the best
urban feel / skate energy.
Yeah, we're the good like entry point for golfers, right? If you're trying to play more casually, not competitively.
That's me.
If you maybe drink a little bit more,
that's
than
me.
You
preaching to the choir, baby.
Shots. If you take more shots than you hit good shots,
he's not talking about this, but if you want to customize your golf club, he's the one to go to.
I can do that stuff.
Like, I like always messing around with my golf clubs, like, stampings, laser engraving, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's the only guy that I take it to town.
So, Jay, just like you're really humble about your talent on the golf course, Max, you're really humble about your talent with graphic design and Dirty's Golf Shop's brand.
Yeah, that's what,
because you're doing something different. You have like a different vision.
Totally.
For the future of golf and what it looks like to be a golfer.
Totally, yeah, right. I mean, like everybody still to this day kind of there's this golf stereotype, right? Like, and that's we've moved on from maybe like the knickers and the plaid and all that stuff, but we still have maybe like the active loud polo and the tucked into tight like active pants and like we have this like little golf costume that everybody still kind of adhering to. And we're trying to break that mold a little bit with what we're doing at Dirty's. And, I think that just means more things that you could wear either to Hooters or to the golf course or to Sadie's or to, like whatever, whatever your lifestyle is conducive to, like golf should also fit into that. You don't have to you don't have to form the stereotype, right?
Speaking of costumes, me and Van have been kicking around our Halloween costume. We need to somehow figure out a way to be a black SUV dragging a police officer. Like, do you guys know, is there a way, do you have a costume for that where we could just make that happen? Probably need a green vest. Probably need a yellow vest.
You're going to have to damage some pants beyond repair as well.
I mean, Fred, you'll have to play the role of SUV. You're a significantly sized human.
I'm a big boy.
And I have a shaved head, so I'll probably be the role of cop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super good. The U.S. Open is this weekend, and I think I'm like a lot of the friends of the show out there. I don't watch until Sunday, right? Like, boys, like you guys are golf fans. Are you like me? Do you grab the 10-minute Google recap throughout the week? Do you get it on Thursday and Friday and make sure you know what's going on Sunday? Like what's the best way for the friends of the show to consume the U.S. Open?
Man, the majors now are pretty awesome. For the most part, they've all got their own apps where you can kind of tune in for live coverage.
Sweet. Yeah.
So you can kind of either have that up in your web browser while you're working somewhere, or be checking that on your phone. Man, come to Dirties. We'll have it on the game.
Yeah.
We'll have it on TV.
For sure. Come
We'll be
hang out at
talking.
Dirties.
We'll be talking U.S. Open all week for sure.
If it's Van, they're like, okay, you've been here a while now, big dog.
It's like, how many natties can this guy
like, what
drink?
is this dude's?
No, that's what we're. You know what? And like, not every golf shop's going to let you hang out and drink Natty Lights, but we'll let you do that for a while.
For about
until 6 p.m.
As long as you pick up at least a T-shirt.
at the very least.
Grab a shirt.
Which
some
the
stickers.
swag is dope too, dude. Like
Thank you.
you're a talented guy, man. I love the vision
Thank you.
of your golf wear.
Well, that's what, because I didn't make it as far as Jay. I had to go get a real job quick, like right out of college, and I had to figure out something other than golf, and graphic design became that thing to kind of channel my my energy into, and I've been very fortunate to now kind of tie both golf and that together into all kinds of products. And
the purse for this thing is $20 million.
shoo, yeah, I gotta sell a lot of T-shirts to hit those goals.
This gone too far, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was young, I think Masters. I think that's the first tournament was the U.S. Open that broke the $1 million winning purse tournament. It was I think it was the U.S. Open or something.
Yeah.
Now 20 mil
20
purses.
million.
Winner purse is 4 point something, probably 4 million or something.
And then it's not just, like you said, it's not just the PGA guys, because the reserve spots for it's the entire world, including the Live Golf. And the Live Golf is wild. Like, there was this, in my opinion, you guys can correct me if you have a different perspective. There was such a campaign against it, I think powered by the PGA. There was such a campaign against it on why you shouldn't be a fan of it, all the money behind the sponsors of the PGA and ESPN, all the affiliates that were really banking on some of those big names that ended up going to Live. They wanted them to stay in the PGA. But it almost seems over the course of this last couple of years, and now their quote-unquote partnership, I don't know what other verbiage to use here, that it's all the same? It's all level? Everyone's cool? Am I confused on this?
Well, there should have been a fight, first of all, because it's two different entities. One, PGA Tour is not a company who hires players. They're just event promoters.
Right. They book you. It's like pro wrestling.
Yeah. And pros, they get paid by their places, not flat amount per event. Like you finish, you get more. It's independent contractors. PGA Tour players were. How are you going to tell your contractors not to get another job anywhere? Yeah. And Live is, on the other hand, it's not a promotion. They're more like a talent agency. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're hiring their own talent to belong to their thing, to their group. Right. Saying, okay, for example, let's say Intel, because we have a big company, Intel here. Intel hires they sponsor 20 golfers. And they said, okay, we're going to have an Intel's Pro-Am event. We're going to invite our 20 Intel sponsor players. We're going to play Pro-Am here, private event. How is that wrong?
Right.
That's what Liv is basically doing. And PJ is like, oh, you're taking our players, blah, blah. If you they just overreacted. So that was a problem. Now they're not making a big deal because they know that they made a mistake. They shouldn't have react to it. I mean, for example, they're saying Saudi money, oil money, blah, blah, blah. Hello, FedEx. End of the year, your bonus check from FedEx. Who has the biggest contract for FedEx?
Right.
Saudi Arabia. Your money, it doesn't matter where it is. U.S., we're oil producers too. It's not like we're not oil money.
If you're
US dollar is
sponsoring
real oil money.
If you're sponsoring golf and it's a $20 million purse, like Dirty's Golf Shop on San Mateo, they're not sponsoring. Can't sponsor the U.S. Open. So you got to have so much money just to play ball at that level that
it's just gone. I think it went little beyond excitement. That's why I think they're losing a lot of fans now. They're saying, oh, because of Live, because we split the pros, now the fans are losing. No, it's because it became beyond exciting. Beyond excitement. It became like, now it's like, yeah, rich guys getting richer. It's like, oh yeah, you guys do whatever you want. It just became kind of like that. It seems like they're trying to blame that it's because of the split of the tour, but I think it's just gone beyond.
Well, hey, competition is going to drive excellence on both sides.
Yeah,
Like you need
it
somebody
doesn't
else
matter.
battling against you to make you better.
And
Like
Liv
without the Saudi money stuff, like that notwithstanding, what Liv's doing, I think it's a fresh take on what golf should look like. Because like way on one end of the spectrum, you got the stuffy old Masters. One end of the spectrum, you got the Waste Management Open, and I think Liv is like some perfect like middle ground. Where
it's good example. I don't know if like IndyCar and F1. IndyCar was before F1. PGA Tour is like IndyCar. It's like it's the original US, the best thing. And all of a sudden F1 comes and say, "Oh, let's make this international, and we'll make all these cars come in and do it." They go around the whole circuit in the world. They have their own events. It's two different fun, right? You could watch as a car guy. You could watch both things. It's not the end of the world, but basically IndyCar is taking a little extreme actions against F1. That's what basically happened.
Well, it's it, and not that golf is niche by any means, but IndyCar or whatever. When there's only so many participants in an event, your pool of talent to draw from, your high level talent, your pool of high level talent is so minute that absolutely maximize the bag, absolutely maximize the payout. But then those guys, and we can hit on this real quick before we go to break. Those individuals, in your opinion, Jay, do they have a motivation to be better than individuals from the other company that they primarily play with? Is there enhanced competition at a U.S. Open between a Live guy or a PGA guy or a guy from parts unknown?
It could be just me.
Yeah.
But every time I walk on a golf course, I don't care if you're Tiger Woods, I don't care if it's Van, I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you get motivated 20 ex-PGA Tour guys together, they are going to motivate themselves to beating each other.
Yeah.
It's the competition part you don't have to worry about.
It's almost made the majors better. I made this point last time when we were talking. It just like it's kind of split everybody apart, and then they get back together these 4 times a year, and it's like, okay, let's see what the Live guys are doing, how they measure up to PGA Tour guys. It makes weeks like this week like super, super exciting because you get everybody back in the field. When everybody was there, like I think the PGA Tour loved that because you're getting more of that environment like on a weekly basis. But I think most people who are watching this sport are pretty casual. They're probably only, like you said, you're tuning in on Sunday. Like we want these big premier things to be like interesting, and they're more interesting than they've ever been, which is really cool because of this odd dynamic.
Professional golf on TV, it's entertainment. It's same as WWF, WWE, whatever you know. Pro wrestling, it doesn't matter. You need a bad guy, good guy. You need an entertainment source besides the scoring. You need the whole good guy, bad guy. Oh, that guy won again. Tiger Woods at the time was perfect. He was mixed of minorities, black, Asian, Indian, whatever, all these race mixed, and he was dominating everyone. It was like he was the Batman. He was he was a hero, right?
Yeah.
Whatever in pro wrestling they'll talk about. I don't know. I don't follow pro wrestling much, but it's entertainment. It's planned. The golf score is not planned as much as other entertainment sources, but they already create those fan bases for those guys where that was so great. When Tiger went away, they kind of lost their place a little bit. PGA.
They leaned on it for a long time. They got to, they got to milk that.
Live happens, and they have to drag Tiger back. Basically, we could have left the GOAT alone as being a GOAT, but PGA needs that hero again, so they're trying to bring him back.
Didn't he get a special invitation this week? He didn't even. I think his exemption for the US is over. So
I mean, they're trying really hard to bring that back. But he's not performing because of his physical condition. But I think as long as if they're trying to get back on that route in entertainment, let the pros do their own thing. Let them be competitive in their whole world. Don't let the money drive their competition. That's a different thing. Entertainment and money should go together, not competition and money should go together.
Oh, I like that.
That's a good take.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's do this. Let's step away. We'll breathe on golf for just a little bit. Come back, talk about the NBA Finals. That way we can let everyone listening take a little nap. Dallas, grow up. Like, just try to win a game. Just try.
They're going home.
It's 2 Men On, live from Club 1-8 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Aramco. Come on. Saudi Arabia oil.
Mike's hot.
And welcome back to the program, Duke City. Listen to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal, live from the 1-8 Golf Shop. Jay Choi joining us. From Dirty's Golf Shop, Max Machado joining us. Did a whole hour on golf. That might be unprecedented, on 2 Men On. And we're going to talk more golf today as the U.S. Open is this weekend. I need you guys' hot takes. We're talking a little basketball here for a second. NBA Finals Game 2 last week, and to somewhat predictable results, the Celtics dominated again. Luka did his thing. I mean, again, I predicted, Nostradamus here, predicted that the Celtics would dominate this series and Luka Doncic would be the MVP. And so far, it looks like that's the exact result that's going to happen. Luka Doncic put up another triple-double. The Celtics dominated again, but Dallas has a chance to at least grab one at their home in Dallas to make this a series. I know,
Mavs.
Boston fan, this is exactly what you want. You get a chance to prove, hey, we are the best. We're going to sweep the West. No one's as good as us. This is exactly what the Celtics want. And if you're a Mavs fan, you just want that championship. You don't care how it happens. We'll take it in 5, 6, 7. If we're tied, we got to play a game 8 for the first time in the history of the world. We'll do that too. But Celtics fan, I don't know if you know a lot about this, boys. You guys been following the NBA Finals at all?
Not much.
I'm an NBA fan.
I have.
So Maxie Boy has been following the NBA Finals, and I know Zay back at the studio has. Zay, do you think Mavericks have a chance to steal a game or two back at home in Dallas?
So here's the thing, and I don't know if you remember, even way back when the Mavs were highly doubted earlier in the playoffs against the Timberwolves, and I said that if Luka and Kyrie both could go 2-2 and take on like a two-headed snake, take on the opposition, that is their best chance. And right now, Luka's the only person holding up his end, and he's actually elevated himself this series. So if Kyrie, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if the Celtics are just too good defensively. I have never seen him get strapped up like this. But if he can just lock in any of these games, I expect them to win. So if you can just get 25 out of Kyrie, I expect the Mavericks to win every game that he scores 25 points in. But he's playing so bad.
I got an inside track here, and I know how awful Texans are because I'm a Texan. Dallas is going to go bonkers. They got a really good home court advantage. They will say, you think Boston gets spicy, Dallas can get really spicy too. So I do think that the Mavericks will steal one. But if the Celtics keep hitting three-pointers like they've been doing, they were awful from behind the three-point line last game, and they still won. So it doesn't bode well for Dallas going forward. But I do believe they'll still win, maybe two.
Got a quick question. Is it me, or do they make more three-pointers now than they did back in 20, 30 years ago?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Unreal.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Whole new game.
Why is that possible? Did Raymond get bigger, or what? I thought the three-pointer got
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry is the answer to that question.
Yes, I seen him throw weird no-look three-pointers, and he'll make it and stuff. I saw that.
Yeah, well, he's not the only one.
I see more three-pointers than before.
Yeah,
back in
big
90s, 95,
men
90,
shoot three-pointers now.
Well, it's all analytic stuff, right? So the idea is the muscle memory. You guys you understand golf, muscle memory. So the idea is the percent chance of making a basket worth one more point is worth the percent opportunity of missing that basket because you take more shots at it. And you can find all these stupid Ivy school studies on how this, and then all these analytic nerds get in and they say, no, there's not a reason to pay a 7-foot guy that can only go mid-range 15 foot. You will pay a 6'11" guy that can go like 21 foot. And then you're like, oh, okay, these guys can hoop. And then you end up in a real interesting situation. Also, I'm back on the show. You end up in a real interesting situation where you get a guy like Jason Tatum, who's a point guard or a shooting guard that can come out and guard like a Luka when he's out running the perimeter at his size. And that's the disruption, in my opinion, of this whole thing. And it's a skilled game that I think because of the three-pointer has become as difficult as any other hand-to-eye baseball, golf, table tennis kind of thing in the world because of this.
And also because of Steph Curry, he comes in, and I remember even Charles Barkley, he's very old school, obviously. He would go on TV and be like, the Warriors aren't going to win because you can't win shooting threes, because that's just how everyone viewed it because the 3-point shot is a lower, or historically was a lower percentage shot. But then Steph comes in, Steph and Clay, and then they showed that if you get good enough, then you can actually win shooting 3-pointers. So then everyone, including guys like LeBron, start practicing their 3-point shot to the point where now that's everyone has to have a 3-point shot. You don't have to, but you're extremely valuable if you have your 3-point shot.
Oh, man, you're crazy, man. Those Golden State Warriors can't play basketball. All they do is chunk up 3-pointers, man. That ain't going to play in today's National Basketball Association.
Also, to be really fair with those two guys,
To be really fair,
their dads both played in the association.
sure.
You know, it's like yeah,
How?
yeah, they got taught early on. You know, and I think I've talked about this before. I was at Washington State when Klay Thompson was there, and he was there at the same time that James Harden was at Arizona State. And you're watching, you looked at James Harden, you're like, oh, that dude's going to be a pro. Like, that dude's going to go to the next level. He can do the thing you've seen done professionally for so many years. And you saw Klay Thompson, and just like wherever we would play pickup ball, you go shooter, and that was it. Like, you didn't think he could do any of those other things. And that's the next step where Klay Thompson can do those other things. Steph Curry can do those other things. Your boy Jaylen Brown all of a sudden is the best player on the planet for the last 2 games because he's doing those things. And it's, in my opinion, a better game. But as a dude who played next to the rim for a lot of years, you do miss a lot of that back to the basket, Akeem Olajuwon, even as recently Dirk Nowitzki, turnaround, fadeaway, pull. Like, all those things are no longer the paintbrush that artists are using, you know, and it's like, it's crazy to me, the evolution of it. And also, it's been the most boring finals ever. I mean, it was closer last night, but it wasn't close.
That's why we love Ant, because Ant gives a little bit of that old school. Like, he can obviously shoot the 3 ball, but if he has the choice, he's going to drive mid-range, close to the basket, hit a drop step post-game.
I mean, what the Celtics are doing, it's like a cheat code for modern basketball. They got 4 guys who can be wing defenders and lock down your best dribblers like Luka or Kyrie. Like, they're having to work their butts off to get good shots over and over again. And then the Celtics, every single person on that team can shoot 3-pointers.
Well, it's like at the end of that,
Tatum drives or Brown drives. You put 2 guys on the guy going to the basket, there will be a guy open every play for a 3-pointer.
They check Pritchard into the game at the half there just so he can get an inbound and come around and take a half-court shot. And you're like, oh, you have a guy for that?
Yeah.
You have a
Half-court guy.
You got a from the logo guy? Like, you don't play none. He doesn't. This little white dude that sits at the end of the bench, he doesn't play none. Comes in and cold strokes one. You're like, okay, like, this is a team that's going to beat you every time. There's nothing you can do.
I mean, historically, the Celtics have always had that guy. They got the 5 minutes a game white boy who's going to chunk up 2 threes and make both of them. Like, so white when they're wearing their home whites, he looks naked. Like, they always have one of those guys.
Scalabrine, right?
Yeah.
No, well, he's the one that's not. But yeah, it was not the one. Jaylen Brown's going to end up being your MVP, which is crazy to me. This dude is unreal. I don't see the Mavericks winning a game. Boston 2-rip going down to Dallas. They'll come. That's the last game they'll be playing in Boston. They're done playing.
I think all that positive energy that Kyrie's going to get in Dallas, being on the home court, having all their rabid, crazy Texas fans there yelling at the Celtics, like, I think Kyrie's going to turn it around. He was a shell of himself in the first 2 games. Like, we 100% know Luka is going to do Luka things, but if Kyrie can step up, I think it's a different series.
If Dallas wins 2, then Dallas will win the whole thing. If Dallas doesn't win 2, it's over. Like, it's, if you only get 1 right now, it's done. This series is kaput. And if it's not Jaylen Brown, it's Brad Stevens. I mean, those are the only 2 options for MVP of this Celtics team. So
I still think it's Luka's the MVP in a loss. He's the best player on the court, and it's not even close.
How good has Drew Holiday been playing?
Oh, unreal. 26, 11, and 3. Like, come on.
Like, if that's your
who is you?
3rd, 4th option,
yeah.
You're in trouble.
Man, you got 20 minutes out of Porzingis, who looks like a MVP candidate too every time he's out there for 6-7 minutes at a time coming off the bench. It's unfair.
Have the Los Angeles Lakers lost their shine? We'll jump into that whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On live from Club 1-8 on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. The Los Angeles Lakers are booty. Jay Choi joining us on the program, Max Machado as well. I was going to say Dan Hurley, but I guess I should have said Connecticut's Dan Hurley.
Sure.
Has turned down the Los Angeles Lakers 6 years, $70 million offer, and wants to return to UConn to chase a third straight natty. LA would have made him the NBA's sixth highest paid coach, and I'm going to tell you, if you're now number one, you're coaching at UConn.
Oh, what happened? Was Gino Auriemma not available? Like, because he's the good UConn coach. Like, he's got a longer track of success. I mean, you got to coach LeBron. You might as well have a women's coach there.
Here comes JJ with a steel chair.
This is going over everybody's head. This is exactly what happened, right? So everyone was saying JJ Redick's going to get hired because LeBron has his hand all in the Lakers' choice bucket. But what happened is the Lakers said, here, so we're going to hire JJ, but we're going to give you an offer so that you get leverage with UConn, and we don't look so desperate for JJ because technically we offered somebody else the coaching job first.
Zay playing some 40 chess over here.
Yeah, so the whole thing was a setup, and it's going to be perfect for Hurley because now he has leverage. The Lakers wanted me to be their head coach. Who are you guys? And now you can get JJ Redick criticism free.
Not the worst move.
Can you get JJ Redick criticism free?
Less criticism? Yeah.
Can
I get my green chili less hot? That's what I need. Yeah, it's lost it, though, right? There's a time if you're a basketball head, you don't turn down the Lakers. Like, there was a time.
Lakers, Knicks, Celtics. You don't say no to those legendary franchises. And a college coach said no to the Lakers.
Well, gosh. And also, he becomes now, like, unless you guys think this verbiage I'm using is wrong, he becomes the example for the class for Laker hater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is now the mascot for all Laker haters.
Oh, Dan Hurley is never buying a drink in Boston.
No.
Just by spurning the Lakers.
The across this great nation, like so many UConn fans now, because they know that Dan Hurley hates the Lakers, and I think it's a win for he. Like he has now put his brand better than the Los Angeles Lakers? No, that's not how that works in my mind.
I mean, not only turning down the Lakers, turning down $70 million. First time NBA coaches don't get to be immediately a top 6 paid coach. Like, not only did he turn down the Lakers, he turned down a record amount of money for a new coach. That's a baller move.
Not only that, he turned down LeBron.
Oof. That's next level.
Have y'all ever been to Connecticut, though?
I don't plan to.
I have been through.
Yeah.
Is it as nice as LA?
You like trees?
It's pretty in its own way. Yeah, it's got it's green. It's got good golf courses.
We just really like Connecticut. Maybe it's less traffic. I don't know.
I saw The Haunting in Connecticut and said, I'm never going there.
Is that a horror movie?
Yes.
Okay. You're basing your travel plans on horror movies, eh?
Yeah, I heard Connecticut had a lot of haunted houses. That's what I've heard.
We're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The whole city's haunted. What are you talking about?
Breaking Bad.
The whole city's on an Indian burial ground, eh?
How do you guys feel about him taking the fam on a really nice trip to Southern California and maybe getting some nice dinners and stuff?
Oh, my goodness.
That's a cool move. All right. Hey, all right, Jay, you have to plan a trip to LA for a visitor, okay?
All right.
All right. What is like the go-to, like what is the dinner experience I'm going to get in LA that I can't get in Connecticut?
Korean barbecue.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Korean barbecue in LA.
You're about to be racist to Jason. I can feel it.
All right. Korean barbecue in LA is better than Korean barbecue in Korea.
Ooh,
so super sweet.
Fighting words.
Much. Oh no, even a lot of Korean people admit it. It's LA Korean food is better than many Korean dishes in Korea.
Okay, while we got
So-
you, Jay, thank you for that. How much better is Korean barbecue than St. Louis barbecue?
Oh wow, there's gonna be a fight.
That's the stupidest thing you've ever said. I just don't. Dry rub, it's a whole other
That's a two
thing.
different categories.
Thank
You're
you.
saying,
Yeah.
you're saying how much funner is soccer than basketball? It's like no.
It's not nearly as
Yeah, it's not even close.
It's, not-
Yeah,
it's-
it's
it's much
Hey,
less
hey,
fun.
hey, I'm a soccer guy, so I like soccer. I like soccer.
Yeah, but you never had fun doing it. Like there's
I love watching soccer. I don't love playing soccer. I love watching soccer.
the United game this past weekend was a banger, and we'll go into that at length when we get back from the break. It's 2 Men On live from Club 1-8 on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
The build is too long. It takes
It's
too
not
long.
perfect.
It takes too long to get to that point.
I loved it.
We're wasting precious time for the
What?
friends of the
Whose
show.
time?
We're waiting for the drop.
Are you familiar with the drop?
Yes.
This is a very
Far
long-
Side's second best song.
The absolute best part of any heist movie is when the two, or now in this case 4 gangsters, are waiting in the car right before the heist starts. And you can feel it building. And there's no words in the car. But it's like one guy in the back cracking his knuckles. It's another guy checking the chamber. It's another guy seeing how fast he can pull his mask down. And it's just like, it's the prep before the storm, brother. That's what that song is.
Hey, we got a rainbow coalition of gangsters on the program.
Oh, my
today.
God. Yeah,
sure.
St. Louis talk there.
Dude, we could be a community college pamphlet. All 5 of us today.
Local bank and trust robbed by Motley Crue. We tell you about it at 10. That's
It's the old one of each gang.
yeah. That's so funny. You won't believe it. The Crayola gang strikes again.
Oh man,
That's not a bad one.
That's pretty good.
So we're talking about obviously about the big weekend that was, and I went over to the New Mexico United. I'm so sorry. I just disrespected the first place New Mexico United
baby.
at home against the Hartford
I really
whatevers.
want to go one time.
What? They're the best. You stop skipping games. Go to every game.
I never had a chance to go.
You just said you
Saturday.
We'll take you to the next one.
Please, I love to go.
They're also about to play Juarez in a friendly, which is a whole thing. So the Hartford is not the best soccer team in the world. Whatever, fine. They're sitting 6th, I think, in the East. The United are sitting 1st in the West. They got a game in hand as well. They just keep piling up points. One rip over the bad guys. Daniel Bruce doing Daniel Bruce things. Bruce.
Love it.
The best crowd I had seen all season. Like, not to be the guy that makes everything just too romantic, but the weather was perfect temperature. The beer was a perfect temperature. The crowd was a perfect temperature. And whenever you see also Carlos Tenorio joining me next Monday, his van is out of town. He's the president of the New Mexico United supporter group, The Curse. When you're there, if you haven't been, Jay Choi, get out and learn to love it. Because I'm telling you.
I wasn't in Albuquerque this time of this season.
Yeah.
I was always in Japan.
Correct.
until this year. So now I'm going.
All right.
You'll go as a
We're
guest
taking
of
you, baby.
ours. Yeah.
We got to get you a scarf.
Ooh, the yellow one with that. Oh, I want those. Like, I want to get some. I did look into some the fan shop, the good shop.
Yeah.
like T-shirts and stuff. I do have some in the cart. I haven't purchased it. Haven't purchased it because I haven't been to a game.
Well, and it's
And
fitting.
Gladiators too. I got their goods into my carts. I just haven't purchased it.
It's fitting for Van and I to take you because we took Max to an Isotopes game
Yeah.
just the other day. And you'd said you hadn't been in years.
Hadn't been in a long time, man. Yeah, it was so good to be back. We went with the kids, man. They had a great time hanging out with Fred and Van.
Isotopes
No
Park.
doubt.
Yeah, we went with Micah Frankel, who's on a competitor here in town, but he works for me with Duke City Championship Wrestling. And you showed up late because you're New Mexican.
Totally.
So you show up late, and you got like the cutest little 5-year-old kid. Is that right?
6 and 4.
All right, so there you go. So one of them. So you show up, and you don't get the giveaway hat because you're New Mexican, and Micah Frankel comes off his hat for like your little kid.
Yep.
And it's like there's just the nicest people at
Good
these
folks.
things. So yeah, we'll definitely get out there. But I cannot state this enough about the United. You know, they rented the private jet for the U.S. Open thing in L.A. It sold out.
Super cool.
Sold out in less than a minute. You know what I mean? They got 25 seats on a commercial flight. Those sold out in less than 2 minutes. These are real numbers. And then I know this. I don't know if I'm spoiling. I don't know if this is a spoiler. I might be spoiling. I know they're about to run a promo for 2 final seats, and I know those seats are provided by the Albuquerque Dukes because that brand is about putting effort out for fans to get out and support this team in LA. We got to figure out a way so we can eat Korean barbecue to go and watch them against LAFC. But Saturday was an absolute banger. I was there in attendance. I took the 9-year-old of my life, and it is not surprising to me how easily kids can fall in love with the formula that they have over at Ice
I mean, especially if they keep winning.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Daniel Bruce hits one with like 6 minutes left or whatever.
An 86 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just absolutely just a nutso weekend. Super nutso weekend.
Sometimes 93rd minute.
Yeah.
93rd minute.
Like stoppage.
Hey, Albuquerque will support a winner too. You put a winning product on the field, we will tear the house down.
When we get back,
I know a place they sell a winning product for golf.
Hey.
There we go. When we get back from the break, I take a moment to sit back and listen to Max and Jay talk about how bad of a golfer Van is.
Let's
it's
go.
2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Big weekend in New Mexico United just had. They increased their lead in the USL. They got a lot of soccer coming up. Check them out.
I love Brucey getting this rub this season. Being more of a striker, being closer to the goal, getting some more chances.
Well, he was such a good defender for so long, but none of that mattered if you weren't scoring goals, and him moving up and being that dude is that dude kind of stuff. All right, boys. So I was not invited or whatever. So you three went and played a foursome. Yep. You three went and played a foursome.
Well, there was a fourth that's just not on air right now.
Noted.
Noted Begay.
Nice.
That's a big name.
So am I just not invited to like hang out with the boys in golf, or like what's the?
Well, that was kind of the point. No. No, I have a friend of mine, we always play golf on Sunday very early in the morning before church. And we had 2 spots open.
Yeah.
And out of the 3,
yeah,
there are 2 golfers.
yeah.
There's 2 golfers
So,
here.
How can
And a good
How can
time.
I invite 3 when there's only 2 spots available?
So Van, you hack around here in Albuquerque a lot. You don't often finish last in a group of 4. How far behind were you of everyone else? And I'll let the other guys tell me.
Oh, okay, well, I'm lucky to have a good group of friends, many of them who do golf.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them are significantly better than me.
Correct.
Pretty neck and neck, have fun, drink some beers, break 100,
Yeah.
have a good time. As you know, if you've been listening to this whole program, Jay, professional golfer, Max, D1. So you could see this leaps and bounds above my hack it and break 100 skill set.
I don't know. I mean, I think you're definitely in the top 1% in skill level in golf. You're good. I mean,
He's a 1%er. If you can break 90,
90?
I think if you can break 90, if you've ever done that, you're in the 1%.
No, I've never broke 120.
Then you're
Okay.
about top 25%.
Right? I've never broke 130.
I broke 90 2 weeks ago. Shot a
Congrats.
93.
That's not breaking
93 with you guys.
Yep.
I know
And-
it was pretty close.
He was right there.
It was right there.
Yeah, Jay, what'd you shoot?
I don't know.
He's he doesn't
Okay, wait,
keep score.
Ben. Let's recap together. Did he miss a green in 18 holes?
Don't believe so. No.
I think he had 1 3-putt, 1 knock on him, and it was like a silly one.
A
If
double
he would've-
liver.
Yeah, if he would have been paying attention, I think he would or like cared about playing golf yesterday. He probably wouldn't have been. It got to have been close to 68.
Probably 60, 67-ish, probably around there.
Yeah,
Something
right
like
in
the
there.
bogey.
So you just stand around watching other guys swing the whole day that you playing golf?
Well,
Yeah,
I don't get off the course often. So my carts are usually full of batteries when they're done. Because I usually try to play the course yardage as it is. Like
Mhm.
I don't go sideways. But then when I play with my friends, I usually, I have to go find it everywhere. It was fun. It was fun.
When we started, I was like, look, I warned you before. I'll warn you again.
Mhm.
Like, I'm going to take significantly more strokes than you guys. I'm just here to break 100 and have a good time. And I went bogey, par. And
Yeah,
they're like,
first
they're
hole.
like, Van, you are full of it, dude. You're a way better golfer. I was like, just wait. And they waited,
Yeah.
and they saw the real Van come
Well,
out eventually.
I'll be honest. If I got paired up with Van on Sunday morning, random pair, just say I joined a random group, I'll be stoked to play with him.
Yeah, for sure, man.
It's great.
sure.
His levels is fun.
Yeah, but below you.
That's a good playing partner. One that's just a little bit. Worse.
Yeah, you always
That's why Jay always wants to play with me.
no.
All right, what course do you guys play?
Ladera.
Oh, okay, so that's a nice one.
Yeah.
It's the one in the city course.
Yeah, that's where I broke 120 on 9. And but that's a good like Sunday morning, like up and down. You take the cart or you walked?
Cart. Yeah, we carted.
So okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would. Are you played all 18 or just the 9?
Oh, we did 18.
Oh, you
for
did 18.
sure.
How long did
Yeah.
it take? Because it usually take when we do like a scramble, it'll take us 4.5 hours.
Well, luckily we started so early.
We teed up at
And-
6:40.
There were like
Okay.
3.5 good golfers. So it like just blew right by.
Oh, okay.
We were done before 11. Like
Yeah.
we got off the course at 10:30. My car was packed up at 10:45. It was sweet.
And so because you started so early, there was no one in front of you that you were
Yeah,
trying to
no
push
one.
off, so you
Exactly.
could go. Okay,
I
that
mean,
helps a
The
ton.
group behind us were fast.
They were pushing us,
They
yeah.
were really, really fast. I was surprised.
They were like the morning boys,
Yeah.
though. We were stepping in on their turf Sunday morning.
They had not seen Van there, and they go,
Yeah.
"What is this?"
What?
No, they were really good golfers too. We're just looking back. They're just like they're just hitting close every time. We're like, whoa, these guys are good.
So the most golf I ever play is whenever I'm doing like a scramble, and I'm always playing with Van, or I'm playing the one that actually, boys, I might need one of you on Friday. So I'm supposed to go with Andre Sturgio, owner of the Runners, to play in a big one this Friday because Van's out of town, so Van can't go. So give me scramble tips. Give me don't say cheat. Like I don't want to cheat. Give me how's the best way to help a team if you are a hack like I am?
Make putt.
That's
That's the easiest way to contribute in a
Yeah.
scramble. Just focus on I'm gonna bury a putt. If you can get 1 out of 18,
that's
a big
one
deal.
more than I traditionally get.
Exactly.
How serious of an answer are you looking for?
One where if I do it, I look better, and if I don't do it, I can laugh about it.
Be the first one every shot.
Yeah.
Like in putting, especially in putting. Just be the guinea pig for the team.
Let them see it.
Show them the way.
Show them
That's
the
a
way.
good
Good
note.
advice.
Just, especially in putting and chipping, you go first. And you don't have to try to make it. Trying to show them, which means trying to hit it close to the hole as much as possible. That's all you have to do. So you don't have to try to hit the ball far. You don't have to try to do nothing. Just be the first one to putt and chip for your team. You'll be the best teammate.
So nothing about my fit or anything? You don't think I should wear like a certain outfit? Or
Just have a couple drinks before you.
If you need a good golf outfit, I got a guy.
Oh, okay. Dirties?
Dude, Dirty's Golf Shop.
Let's
Dirty's
go.
Golf Shop.
39 San Mateo Boulevard, Northeast.
Rio's Youth Soccer Club, June 14th. It's at Twin Warriors. So there we go.
Golf course.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Okay. So me plus one, whoever wants to
if you need
get
a
weird.
designated hitter.
That's
There is a dude available. There's 2 dudes available.
that should be. I should
Hired
not
gun.
play and then send you guys.
Depends who the partner is. If they're, are they
Andres is
sponsor worthy? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. Let's talk some sponsorship, baby. Hey, we're professional hustlers, pro golfers. Everything comes to the deal.
Rio Youth Soccer Club is a super cool organization. I don't know how familiar you guys are with it, but they do help a lot of young kids get into the game because the barriers financially of youth athletics.
Yeah.
And anytime there's an organization or a promotion that's out there and willing to help do it, heck yeah, let's work with them as much as we can.
I think me and Max, we're planning on or working on a little tournament. That's
Ooh,
possibly for a charity. So
possibly.
Possibly.
oh, I don't know if I don't know. Okay, it is for charity. It's nonprofit. It'll be a charity event.
Yeah.
We don't know for who yet,
Yeah.
but most likely we kind of know. Depends who the backer.
Golf is an interesting one to do fundraisers for. Van and I help organize the Top Golf event for the YMCA. And I think the big draw on that is not Top Golf itself. I think it's like the eclectic group of people we put together.
Sure.
Because not do all these really interesting, really positive people from our life, professional and personal, do they always get to interact with each other? And the fellowship of that thing is worth the price of admission. It's, to me, that's the big sell on these types of things. Be able to get good individuals together for a good cause.
Outing.
Perfect example, like the one you're playing with Andres this Friday. Like it doesn't matter. Like not everyone's there to win. Like most people are there to have a good time. I know, Max, me and you rode together yesterday.
Yeah.
And you have a great attitude on golf. Like,
Thank you.
You're a friggin' scratch golfer, but still you look at golf the same lens as someone like me who's there just to have a good time and break 100.
We have the same goals now. You know what I mean? Okay, the score may be different, but like at the end of the day, we're trying to get the same experience, right? Like the lowest score isn't going to win any trophies, out there at Ladera yesterday.
Right.
Like whoever has the most fun wins, really, right? Like,
I'm sometimes jealous of people shooting higher scores because dollar per shot is cheaper for you.
Okay. Value, baby. Value. Looking big value.
That we've talked about this on air a lot. I don't think I have, and not even, I own pro wrestling, right? I own Duke City Championship Wrestling. We talk about on the show regularly. I don't even have the passion for that like enthusiast for golf has. I don't have the passion for, and I think you can plug and play a lot of stuff, Friends reruns or baking or whatever, right? Like for people to just obsess over a thing the way that you have professionally with golf and the way you used to before you saw how easy it came to Jay. To me, Max and Jay, it's like a thing I'm envious of. If there was a way just to flip on falling in love with the sport that I never practice at and I'm no good at and I never perform at, like, why can't I just turn that thing on? Like, did it come naturally to you boys? Did you have to develop that?
Yeah, I think everybody has to develop it, right? Like it's like kind of one of those things. Yeah, if you when you start, everybody's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody that's natural. Truthfully, like not that natural at golf,
right?
So you do. I think people. I feel like when I think back when I started, you're so bad that it just bothers you to the point where you're like, I'm just going to keep doing it till I like pull it off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You start getting that like obsessive, like you start chasing like right off the bat. Like,
that's the word, chasing. It's like addiction. You're addicted to getting better. And golf, there's no opponent. you're always playing by yourself. Your only opponent's golf course.
Right.
So it's endless of opponents, yet you don't have an opponent. So you're playing by yourself. So you're constantly trying to get better and better and better and better. It's like addiction of trying to get better. It's weird. And the feeling of the success after completing or after doing what you're trying to do for the longest time, and when you do it, it's like, oh, but then you're like the very next shot, you're like, oh, there's a new thing that I need to work on.
Right.
Uh-huh.
It's an addiction. It's weird.
Right, and that's the thing. I think you've mentioned it to me too. Like you've won tournaments, and like the next day, you're like, I don't feel anything.
That was a weird. That was
like,
a weird
I'm
feeling.
ready
That's why my not. That's when I kind of lost. The love of golf is same. The drive towards success stopped as soon as I won a tournament.
So we've had this talk. It's so funny you're saying that. We've had this talk too, and I'll just use wrestling as an example. But like I'll use Van as an example. This past weekend, Van just hosted over the weekend a doggy fashion show.
Correct.
For Watermelon
Fam was there.
There we go.
Yeah.
For Watermelon Mountain Ranch, and I wasn't there. You know, I had a lot going on in my personal that day, but. Whenever you wrap up like a banger event and it helps a bunch of people, Van, what is that feeling for you? Like, what is the after the last person who contributed to help leaves and the door closed? How does that hit for you mentally?
You know, that's a great example. I had another example for Jay I'll dive into in a second, but knowing the effort it takes that you get to be a helper.
Yeah.
Like I don't look at like as work, like this takes work. I'm fortunate to have the opportunity to be in a position to help.
Sure.
And so like all the stuff that it takes before an event and, you know, all the stuff it takes, you know, making sure you follow up with people after event to make sure it's a success the next time, all the middle stuff, like when you're on stage on a microphone, that's kind of like the muscle memory stuff. That's just the flow state stuff. But like seeing, you know, people be happy and enjoying, if I crack a couple funny dog jokes, like that's awesome. Like I meet some new friends at the show, that's awesome. But knowing like you get to help a great cause, I mean, that's all it's worth right there. But like what you're saying earlier, Jay, it like parallels a feeling I used to have because I before this career and before my previous career, I was a professional poker player.
Oh.
And so I know this goes in golf, this goes in a lot of other sports. I'm not calling poker a sport, but for golf, it's like you don't remember the great shots you hit. You remember the ones that you barely missed. You remember the ones that you bladed or you're a little bit off. And it's like in poker, it's like you don't remember the hands you won, but with great, perfect intent, Rain Man detail, you'll remember the ones you lost. Is that the same for you when you were playing pro?
I did have those moments, like you just said. I did used to think, oh, I missed that putt. Not anymore.
Yeah, sure.
I used to be that way too. And you work on that shot so you don't make the same mistake. And you don't remember the good shots because you just did it.
It's expected result,
it's
right?
expected result.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a shock. So.
Yeah, you're super speaking a language to me right now that's real interesting because I do think with success it becomes like a dragon that you chase, right? And you get that high and that emotion of, and I don't know, I've been in radio 20 years, right? So it's not like I don't get that anymore from radio. You know, radio, hey, we will sit down, we will do a banger show. And for someone listening, a friend at the show at home, they're like, that golf episode you guys did with Max and Jay, that's the best damn radio I have heard in town in the last however many years. And then tomorrow is Tuesday and we have to do it again.
Right.
You know, and you end up in this Duke City Championship Wrestling. We just had our 1 year anniversary. That after the first one, the city was alive with it. It was awesome. And I recognized that. I was into that energy. And then after the second one, it was just relief. And after the third one, it was relief. And after the fourth one, it was relief. And you think, oh, that dragon's going to come back around on the 1 year anniversary. And you're like, I only got 4 weeks to get ready for the next one. And you end up just like losing that high. And I think that's the thing I'm so envious of with, you know, your professional success, and obviously your collegiate success. And you never messed with the Q stuff. You never tried to.
Nah.
No. To me, I think that's the thing where I just wish I had that hook I could put into like a passion to say, all right, it's not relief. It's
get him a set of golf clubs, somebody. And just you just got to play the sport to understand. There is a reason why every retired professional athlete's getting hooked to this thing.
Yeah,
there has to be a reason why. There has to be. It's
It's a lot of the juice is there, right? Like I don't know, it's present in one way or another.
Golf is a very luxurious sport.
Sure.
It's not that it's so expensive or anything, but it takes so much time. Time is basically money, right?
Sure.
So when you're working full time to feed your family or feed yourself, whatever, the rest of the time you have isn't enough for golf. You can't spare enough time for golf until you have that luxury, and then you get addicted because you have the time and you have a sport that you can do. And so it's an addiction once you have that luxury. I'm not saying it's expensive. Luxury and expensive are two different things. It's a luxury. It's to have the time to do it, and once you have that, you will get addicted to it.
I had the time over the weekend to watch an entire UFL football game.
Let's go.
There is no exaggeration in that sentence.
Should have been golfing.
I will tell you what that experience was. Whenever we get back from the break, it's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Back live at Club 1-8, hanging out with our friends Jay Choi and Max Machado. All right, here's what I did yesterday, Van. Van knows this because I called him.
Because you called me to tell me all about it.
So,
Yeah.
I was watching yesterday the UFL. Are you guys familiar with the UFL?
In name only.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay. So it is a football league that is like the JV of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Off-season football.
Yeah. And
But it's not indoor football.
No.
Okay.
No, this one was indoors, the one I was watching, but it's not arena.
Okay.
So it's football, but played in the
that's
dome.
what I was confused.
Yeah.
Arena football, not okay.
Yeah,
different
that's
one. Okay.
different. So I'm watching yesterday, and I just want to give you all the facts as I can remember them off the top of my head. So the UFL has two leagues, one called the XFL, one called the USFL.
Yeah.
So it has two conferences.
First year of the league.
Yeah. And the Brahma Bulls of Birmingham are playing the St. Louis Battlehawks. Okay. So I'm watching the game yesterday because you guys are aware I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Like,
You're a Battlehawks fan.
yeah,
Now.
I'm a tried and true, dyed in the wool, 100%er from day one, biggest Battlehawks fan in the history of the face of this planet. Everyone knows that. I love our head coach Anthony Becht, who used to be a tight end for the Jets,
Who you learned about yesterday.
correct?
Yeah.
And I'm a big Bruce Groskowski guy, who used to be a quarterback for the St. Louis Rams. So I call Van yesterday and I say, Van, this Rams game is crazy.
Yeah. And I had to remind you, my friend, the Rams have been gone for a long time. This is PTSD in action. They're called the Battlehawks.
Correct. So I turn the game on, and the production is not NFL quality level production, but it's not so bad. And so they have the PA announcer at it's not called the Dome in America Center, which is where the Rams used to play. And the PA announcer is a guy I used to do radio with in St. Louis. And I'm like, oh, Andy, you're doing so good. And then, so I'm watching it, and then they're like showing the fan base or whatever, and like the mega like Battlehawk squawkers or whatever are like dudes I went to high school with. And I'm like, no, my little heart. Like, and then they go to start the game, and like Torrey Holt, like big game Torrey Holt is out there with his weird fingers. Have you guys Google Torrey Holt's fingers?
Yeah.
If you want to gross yourself out.
It's wild.
It is the craziest thing a human being can have attached to their body that doesn't work as intended or designed by whatever God you pray to. So I'm watching, and I'm having this like nostalgic, like I miss the Rams. I miss when I worked for the Rams. And I'm like going through like this thing, and I'm like, I hate you, Stan Kroenke. And that's when I called you.
Yeah. when the
Max,
Kroenke hate.
Max, are you looking at Torrey Holt's? Now, how would you describe Torrey Holt's fingers?
He's making
as a gang sign of some form.
Or a dried branch.
Dried branch.
His fingers look like he could easily defrost the ice poles in Total Recall.
You know how you hitchhike with the thumb up? He does his pinky down, and that just means he wants to go back to where he came from. He's like, actually, I'd like to go back.
It was so crazy. So I call Van, and I'm like, Van, this Rams team's not that bad. AJ McCarron's like a dude. I'm like going, and as I'm talking to him, they run like a reverse double Statue of Liberty, like flea flicker play that ends up in like a 35-yard loss, fumble, turnover. And Van's like, yeah, dude, that's the USFL. It sucks. Like, I'm like, ow! It hurt me, Van. It hurt me.
I mean, if entertainment value is there, if you're captivated just watching it, go crazy. I'm not going to, pee-poo on like whatever you're interested in, but like you got to know it's not the NFL.
It was not the NFL.
even at the highest levels in the playoffs, it's still not the NFL.
Is that on cable or is it on?
It was on Fox. It was broadcast right up against the NBA Finals. So I got the finals like on the laptop. I got the USFL on the big TV or whatever. And a girl I used to date in high school was right there in the front row. And I'm like, send me pics. And she's like, I've gotten too drunk. And I'm like, we're 40. Like, what do you mean you've gotten too drunk? Like, I missed football. That's all I'm trying to get to. Because I don't watch the NFL. I hate the NFL. Like, let me rephrase this. I hate that the NFL hurt me. I hate
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
I was a St. Louis Rams fan, that I had a radio show based around them, that I've had so many wonderful interactions with, and fill in the blank, right? Dick Vermeil, Kurt Warner, Marshall Falk, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Ricky Pohl. We could run the list, right? Ricky Pohl coaches for this Battlehawks team. Like, I could give you all, and then I was watching it last night. I was like, I think I'm going to fall in love with football again. UFL football. I am now,
Okay.
yeah, they're the KT Wiz in my world.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I am now a fan again. Also, tough loss as the Brahma Bulls of Battleland beat the Battlehawks, so it's over.
Isn't that the Rocks team?
The Rocks team.
The Brahma Bulls. Of course, they're going to
Yeah.
the championship in the first year. It's
Does
the
LA
Rocks team.
LA have a team?
I would not be able to answer that confidently.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. They're called the Rams.
Yes.
The Chargers.
Now, hear me out, Fred. Would you be willing to be hurt again? Because I know you weren't alive when the Cardinals left St. Louis
Los Angeles Wildcats.
for the first time. You know, the Cardinals,
I
Arizona
went
Cardinals.
88 when
Those
Bidwell
are-
took them away.
Those were the St. Louis Cardinals,
Yeah.
right? And then now the St. Louis Rams are in
Mhm.
LA. And I think if there's another expansion in the NFL, St. Louis has to be at the top of the list to
They're
get
not gonna-
another team for
Sell
a
the
few
field.
years and then move somewhere else.
There you go.
Fool me once, shame on them. Like, that's 3 times?
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to go to the well a third time.
Why not?
Because there are actual big cities now. There are big cities that don't have teams. There are big, like Portland doesn't have a team. Like, there are huge metropolises that could house a team. Charlotte.
But they're not in the middle of the country. It's easy
It's
to
the
travel
best
to
one.
St. Louis.
It's the best city. Like, you could maybe float another team in Chicago. You can maybe, if whatever, they don't figure out their stuff and they got to put one closer to Naperville or do whatever, you could put another team up there. Could you put a team in Memphis? Maybe. I wouldn't, but you could. There's a plan there.
Got a question. What is required to have a team?
$1 billion.
Yeah,
Right? Money. Basically money.
yeah, well, yeah, and you need a city that'll give you a 20-year tax break. That's the real big one.
All right.
Because that's what happened to the Rams. So they got in 95 when they came in, they got a 20-year tax break. And then when it was time to re-up the deal, the city was like, you got to start paying taxes. And then coincidentally, Georgia Fontiera died. And then Stan Kroenke comes in, buys the thing. And then he was like, no, So yeah, they get to live tax-free in your community and a building that you build for them.
with taxpayer dollars.
With taxpayer dollars.
Yeah. So that's what basically is, baby. For the last 20 years, there's no other business besides that business. I came out of that city.
It's like sports wise. So STL Soccer Club is a whole nother thing because they have an MLS team now. And that has taken that city by storm, not to specifically talk about that one, but that fan base that's so fervent, I don't know what word to use here, that is so excited about whatever sport, they bring that excitement to other sports.
Sure.
That's why pro wrestling is so significant where I grew up. That St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And let's use Albuquerque as an example. So Albuquerque is the largest media market to not have a Conference 5, Big 5 university competitor. It's the saddest thing in the world, right? Because this city, that University of New Mexico, where you were so successful at golf and you were so hated while you were wearing crimson, they've never bothered to put the work in. It's so narrow-sighted. If that university had, over the history of their program, put the effort into the football program to where whenever all this expansion and absorption and all these other things were going on, and they would have been picked by any of them.
Sure.
Any of them. Pac-12 at the time, Big 12 now, whatever. You can be in the ACC and be physically here. Like, it doesn't matter. If any of them would have picked this school, if they had had any amount of success over the last 40 years, it would be an entirely different fan base, media attention, national, whatever, but they never bothered to look past the dashboard. On it.
That's always wondered, how come New Mexico never have like the top team, only minor league this, minor league that?
Well, for a long time it was population.
Yeah.
So, and it's not going to be that much longer because we're at like 1 million people in the metro now.
Yeah, we're a top 30 city in the country, top 40 media market.
40 to 50.
We're the size of a city that should have more things like this, more successful D1 programs, some pro teams. Like we're right at that cusp.
And with the TV affiliates, because the way that I don't know, you guys know about like ownership of TV groups or anything, but the way like Hubbard Broadcasting works, or the way that some of these other organizations work, you put your up and coming talent in this market, and then it moves to larger markets along like your ownership chain. And the thing with radio here, because we have that big A mountain over there with those sticks on top of it, that is a larger radio reach than like where you're from in LA County. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So you can hit so many individuals with entertainment, and you can hit so many individuals with product, but you have to put in the effort and the infrastructure for that. So that's, when a city doesn't want to, and they don't want to build a soccer stadium, like you don't get that next option for MLS. Now it's going to be privately built, which will end up working out really well for a handful of people instead of a whole community, which is true. The United will go from the current league they're in, the USL, and then they'll become an MLS team. There's no doubt in my mind. And
that'd be cool.
Yeah, and it'll just propel from there. It's a wild fan base. It's a wild thing. I would say watch the UFL championship game next week if the finals are over in the NBA.
even the UNM fans are gone. Do you think?
Here,
back when I was in school, like tailgating was huge. Like,
twice a year.
I mean, it was almost every week. I thought when I was in school, like here.
First game of the season. If New Mexico State is here, New Mexico Bowl. Those are the three.
Man, when I was in school, it was like every week, every game. It's like we have a tailgate. Like it was almost every week. It was they
might have won 4 games that year, bro. There was probably something to do.
I don't know what it was.
Turning the corner.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, right?
It was a lot hotter. I felt like back in the day.
They were.
I don't know.
Well, in the athletics department was more hot towards alum. We won't say anyone's names on these programs, but we have talked to former football alum who's played professionally. And we say, hey, how about like bringing interest or coin or facility to town? They go, yeah, maybe the town I grew up in, not Albuquerque. You talk to alumni of basketball and you say, hey, about event, or hey, about purpose in town. And they say, oh, I haven't got a 505 call from the university in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And you end up with these disconnected and disenfranchised like individuals of the university that claim to be a part of their whatever for so long. And then as we sit here now with NIL opportunities, like Bill is a really good example where you get really good football players,
right? And
they're immediately going to leave the second there's an ounce of bigger bag. And if you're like, hey, we can't, fake number. Yeah, we'll give you 10 grand to come to our school. And UNM's like, hey, you stay here for 9 grand. And then they're like, UNM proper can't do that. Whatever school they go, Ole Miss obviously would be the example here. They can't do that. But the NIL groups, you can't say, hey, look how much success and support we've given fill in the blank graduated athlete historically. It's not there. I don't know how it is with golf. I guess I can't speak to that.
NIL, that's kind of new to me too. I mean, it's new to everybody.
Yeah.
Amateur should be amateur. They shouldn't be paid. But that's far gone. But that broke when Dream Team happened at Olympics. I mean,
I'm going to tell you, it didn't exist before then.
Yeah.
Like there was the universities that had figured it out beforehand. Your Miami's are really good examples.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're in public radio, I shouldn't say
no.
But before NIL was announced, there was some sort of NIL has been always happening.
Correct.
Sure.
It was just never upfront, or it was just never over the table. It was always under.
Very correct. Yeah, the amount of college athletes that I grew up with that worked at a dealership and never went in one day was very high.
Mm-hmm.
Very high.
And how did they all drive Denali's? How did they all drive?
Yeah, how'd you go to the University of Illinois and have an orange and blue Denali? That is weird.
Wow.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've always been there.
Well, and the number of dudes who uncles were on coaching staffs, and the number of dudes.
But I'm not going to mention the name like you guys want to mention the name, but automobile industry person, you wouldn't do an NIL because it's just that's a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? Like, what? What's with the local support? It's like
it's
too many hoops to jump through.
Well, and it depends who you work with. There's a lot of ways to it.
Yeah.
We got to grab one more break. We will grab it right now, and then we will come back, wrapping up the program. We'll catch you all in 2 minutes. Sorry, I just got a weird text. I might not be here. Be right back. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. All right, so I have this idea that we're going to game the Major League All-Star Game voting and get Martin Maldonado in there.
I've done my part.
So to smarten you boys up, Jay Choi joining us, Match Machado. So Martin Maldonado is the worst baseball player this season.
Okay.
It's not even close. He has 0 hits on the year. How many hits does he have?
I think he's 3 for something like 60.
Yeah, he's awful. He plays too much. The White Sox are the worst team in existence. And I think if we start an internet campaign, we can get him on the All-Star Game because the White Sox are so bad. Who else are they going to put on there?
They gotta field one player.
They have to
right?
put one player. Like, why don't we put their ugly duckling?
What position does he play?
He's a catcher.
He's a catcher.
Okay.
And then laughably, every once in a while, a designated hitter.
Mhm.
It's All-Star Game. Who cares? They only look for the.
Is he good?
Three
Is he
guys
good?
anyway.
Is he a good defensive player? Is he a good catcher?
Some say the best.
He's one of the best defensive catchers,
Yeah.
but he's such a giant black hole in the lineup. His defensive metrics don't matter
He
anymore.
tried to retire last year and should have. He's so terrible. But I think he's like universally loved.
He's like one of the best dudes. People love him.
How do we-
He's a good dude, a good catcher. And
Yeah.
the White Sox need to put a guy up.
They
Sounds
have
like
to
a win.
I mean, I don't like, but how do we like champion this?
We keep talking about it on this program, and we keep voting. You could vote 5 times a day for the All-Star Game. It's not just like one vote forever and you're done. You can show up on the website and submit your
Do
lineup
your civic
5 times a day, which I will be doing, and I will be putting all of the best candidates from all over the league and a couple extra Astros and Martin Maldonado.
But like, what hashtag do we use? Like, that's what we need. Martin All-Star Nado.
Mallstar.
Mallstar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mallstar.
Mallstar is a good
Yeah,
one.
Mallstar Nado.
All-Star.
Mallstarnado.
Yeah, these are all good.
hmm Unlike him.
He's not very good.
What this sort of movement is it? Actually, I guess so. I mean, you do have to start your own hashtag to get a real hit.
He
So,
sucks
White
so
Sox
bad.
fans are already doing this, and we need to make
No.
it. Oh, yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
have him on the show.
Yeah. White Sox fans are already doing this, and we need to make it catch on nationwide. Because he might have historically the worst registered batting average in the history of the game and be an all-star. That would be epic, pulling this off.
He is batting .074.
That's probably below the. Is it the Mendoza line?
The
No, okay. Mendoza line is .200, .200. He is .074 now. It was .076 last
Point
week.
2 is not a bad batter though. That's
Yeah, that would be. We wouldn't even be talking about it.
Yeah.
At .074, he's not a third of that.
Yeah.
he's hitting 7 times out of 100 bats, dude.
Instead of
He could bunt better than that though. Why wouldn't he bunt?
if we're talking about alcohol instead of baseball, he can legally drive.
But
Like
you know
that's
what?
how low.
The fact
That's
that
how
he's
low
up
his
there,
batting
though,
average is.
He's got to be inhumane. He's just being up there. He's in a roster, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting paid good money.
I mean,
$3.5 million.
he's a crazy athlete. I think we could make fun of him with the 0.7.
Yeah, but every
he's
time-
he's a great athlete.
Every time he starts a game over Corey Lee, White Sox fans pour bleach in their eyes. Like, we have to be very transparent here.
So they're starting with -1 out.
Hey,
exactly.
technically, he counts as -1.5 wins above replacement. He's literally the worst at it. He's a terrible catcher, and him with a bat is laughable.
How's he in the roster still?
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy and a really great catcher and like a good mentor to this young awful team. So they just keep trotting him out there.
And then there's a
Right.
AAA guy looking up at the major league team going, "Come on!"
It's like, give me a spot.
How bad does he have to be for me to get my shot? Like anybody.
There are 29 other actual teams of catchers that should all be there before him. Let's go.
Like the White Sox are so bad. They're like, all right, just for this season, we're going to give you guys 2 designated hitters. You got one for anybody, and then one for Martin Maldonado.
Is the movie Major League really coming in real life? Is this what's going on?
If he were to catch fire, if he was starting to get some vote, like, because I just looked it up, so on Twitter or X, it's hashtag vote Maldi.
Vote Maldi.
So it's already there. So yeah, this would be the one.
Let's make it happen.
Just get like
watch
the power of positivity
with the golf singers. Vote Maldi.
Every picture is him bunting. And you're like, we wrap up the program whenever we get back from the break. It's 2 Men On, live from Club 1-8 on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Very good radio program today. Thank you to Jay Choi and Max Machado who joined us. Boys, you have fun?
Great time.
Yeah?
Always good hanging out here at Club 1-8, but even more special when Fred and Van are here.
Oh, that was nice. That was a nice
warmed
thing.
my heart a little bit there.
Was it too much Van over the last 2 days, though? Like, you guys feel like you need a break?
Oh, it was just a blast.
Van and I kind of weekended together.
A bit. Yeah, we did. It's like a long weekend. He came to the Watermelon Mountain Ranch Fashion and Compassion event.
Did you raise any money?
We golfed Sunday,
Yeah.
An aggressive amount of money.
Good.
And then here Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just getting my fix.
Van and I throw a Vaniversary party every year that you didn't go to.
I missed the Vaniversary.
Yeah, that was stupid of you.
Now that would have been too much.
That was,
3
I
days,
think
3
Van
days in a
would've
row and a anniversary.
Van would have been like, all right, man, dude, what's going on?
So obviously we're sitting down because we were talking a ton of golf today, the U.S. Open, everything going on. But a little inside radio, we've had conversations about doing some weekend golf radio programming and just making sure we're starting like Saturdays off right, because Van is contractually obligated to create a podcast for the weekend, and he has somehow dodged it for the last several years.
Well, I had some really genius ideas for some alternative podcasts, and corporate sponsors won't jump on those guys.
No, your ideas were bad.
Surprise.
They were bad ideas.
A little spicy.
Golf is the better idea. All of your previous ideas were terrible.
I mean, golf, like peanut butter and jelly, baby. Let's go.
What does that mean?
Me and golf's like peanut butter and jelly.
Like crunchy?
Yeah.
So anyway, how excited would we be to have your voices as a part of that every so often, boys? So thank you so very much for coming out and hanging out with us today. Golf on the radio doesn't exist enough, right?
No.
I don't know. I never heard of golf radio. XM radio somewhere. I don't know.
I listen to it on my Sirius XM.
There's a golf channel.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, one.
But here local, we got a local flavor. Like it's a deficit here in Albuquerque.
A little golf gang or something.
Should fill that hole.
Yeah. Put that down as a show title. Put that down.
Fill that hole.
Yeah,
I like that.
Fill that hole.
That's really
fill
good.
that hole with the dirty boys.
Okay.
Just got Dirty's Golf Shop, guys. Come on.
I got some graphics in mind for that.
There are some fun, like, the one I played as an adult was softball. That's the one I played the most. And there were all these, like, stupid on the field, you would hear every single games. Do you guys have those on the golf course? Is there just, you're going to hear someone say this insult, or you're going to hear, like, what drives you crazy? Like, what are the ones? Like, Van hits just like a bad slice of what you think is the most layup shot of all time.
He would probably be bugged, but I would probably say something like it opens up over there. Don't worry, we'll probably find it.
That's not bad. That's
that's a very cliche. Like it's a way to be like, okay, you hit a bad one, but stay optimistic. Like we might find it. It looked like it flew in that bush, but like I don't know, it opens up over there.
As soon as, if I'm watching golf on TV, as soon as someone tees off, I mute immediately because I do not need to hear another drunken idiot go, "It's in the hole." The second they hit it,
get in the hole.
It infuriates me. It's the worst golf lingo of all time.
You leave a putt short, like, "Oh, come on, Nancy, putt it, Nancy."
Yeah, that's very sexy.
It's always like an old. It's always an old lady's name. Like, come on.
Yeah, Dolores.
You're better than that.
Elaine.
There's somebody named Dolores that's got hands too.
Coming at you.
What is the one you get the most, Jay? When someone hasn't seen you just like tee off on one, what do you hear from people like when they're in support of your very non-athletic looking self hitting a golf ball?
You could do that.
It's such a weird game.
I don't know. I don't hit the ball hard, so there's nothing like really dynamic about my golf game to be dynamic. I used to be a long hitter, but not anymore.
He still hits it farther than all of us.
All right, good news, boys.
Okay.
Hashtag vote Maldi.
Yeah.
I fulfilled my civic duties for the day.
Okay.
I voted for Martin Maldonado as the starting catcher for the American League
5
All-Star
times.
team.
Let's go.
5
Did you
times.
do that at MLB.com or?
I believe it is MLB.com. Let me double check.
So I'll do that tonight.
It's just Van's just
texting. It is MLB.com. That is correct.
That's so funny. If I was to do a golf show, which I wouldn't because I'm terrible at golf commentary and understanding the game or anything related to it, it would need to be like a live, like weekend morning thing where people are calling in and they're like, "Hey, I'm about to just get embarrassed." Like or maybe a little later in the morning, like after a round, and people are like, "Hey, just played the round of my life at whatever," and like, because that to me. Because who are you going to brag about your golf game to? Your buddies don't care. Your wife don't care.
Yeah.
Like you need like that outlet to call and be like, "Sponge me up, boys." I'm dripping over here. Is that a golf phrasing?
I like
why
it.
not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I felt that. Where, like I did something, and my wife plays golf. She's great. She just doesn't. She's never gonna hype me up like that. You know what I mean? Like
My wife doesn't play golf. She doesn't care if I go play golf or not. So
I got to get that hype from somewhere, though, right? You got to chase that.
That's what I'm
If I
saying.
could call in to a station.
It's just a bunch of cheerleaders, really.
Dude, I played so good. Check out this shot I hit on 5. They'd be like, "Wow!"
Oh,
That'd
awesome.
be worth it. You could charge for that by the minute.
Just
Now-
break it down.
Now tell me about your fantasy football team.
Exactly.
Ooh, endless.
That's the game now. What's you know, you can do like the scoring online now with the apps or whatever, and you would set up one where whatever, like you're doing the show and guys are like their numbers are populating and you can like observe and be like, hey, friend of the show, whoever sucked on this.
Oh,
And you're like,
great.
yeah, and then you just because you guys know every turn of every hole here in town, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, so it's like okay, well, you know, he did this here, and you know, and that'd just be a lot of laughs with
Yeah.
it. I don't think it'd be good golf content, but I think it'd be funny.
It would be funny.
Well, I mean, you want to engage the audience. Like, you're not just going to talk about big tournaments all the time. Like it's boring,
Yeah, it's
right?
boring.
Like,
They
swing
can watch
analysis.
YouTube. They can watch YouTube for those.
Yeah.
For scores and stuff. We want to talk about golf locally. Let's see what's going on.
have like an amateur of the week. Like
Yeah.
somebody calls
Somebody
in. and
challenged
He's
Jay.
like, guys, like I shot 10 strokes like under my average, and I wasn't even keeping score this time. It's like, oh, amateur of the week. Congratulations.
Love it.
Jay Choi, final words, brother.
It was blast. It was fun. It was fun. We'll love to do it again sometimes.
Like all of that. Max Machado, Dirty's Golf Shop.
Dirty's Golf Shop, 1439 San Mateo Boulevard, Northeast. Come see me. Come hang out. We'll chop it up.
Dang, put it out there like
Good
that. I like
move.
it a lot. Isaiah, welcome back.
Thank you. That was the most golf talk I have ever heard in my life.
I mean, it wasn't so bad though, right?
No, it was. I was interested in the whole entire time. I just wish I was able to see you guys.
It's a good endorsement.
He said in the hole the entire time. I like that. Good move, Isaiah. Van, final words before we go, brother?
Hey, thanks for having us today, Jay, Max. Always a pleasure. Friends of the show out there, anything we didn't cover today, which is probably luck. It's pretty
A lot.
golf heavy.
Yeah.
You guys check out the opening drive tomorrow morning with Jeff and JJ.
Good job, everyone. GG.
See you at the Duke store tomorrow, Burke.